Of the horror and tragedy that's. Hi! Hello and welcome to the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey. This is Eric from Hey Internet. Eric here.
That still doesn't sound right for old times.
Hey Internet. Where'd that? You threw in a comma?
No, it's a period.
No,
It's already a train wreck. See, that's why it's a lot easier. You should have just gone old school and called me Cracker.
my old school buddy Cracker from back when Bill Clinton was a thing.
Was Bill
All
Clinton
right.
when we started this?
No. When we met at Eagle, Clinton was still in the White House, I'm pretty sure.
When we met at Eagle, that was around 9/11.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
then that was Bush, wasn't it?
But I started in 99. I started November of 99. Well,
I
I don't
came
know
up-
that I doubt
I
we
came-
knew each other.
I graduated 99. I went over to your store, say roughly 2000, but then I moved to the bakery within like 3 months.
So it's in that.
Me and you didn't really become buddies like until
Right.
you moved back there into the bakery.
But we had to we need to like do one of those things where you meet with a therapist, psychologist or something, and then go into hypnosis.
No,
And then you can walk around in your memories and be like, "Don't do it. She's gonna sleep around with others."
I don't trust you being around me being hypnotized. I'll end up with like a bowling pin up my ass or something, knowing you.
Yeah, well, before tonight, I'd have been like, "Hey, it's my buddy." Now it's like, "Where's that bowling pin?"
Yeah, you would explain why.
Okay, so what we're doing here in America? Oh, that's a good idea. Let's get all our text straight. Let's take a moment, let people collect into the chat, and
No one's gonna show up.
no one. You got 1,000 subs. I got 2 guys.
That's okay. I don't really have that much interaction either, so don't feel bad. I'm just as pathetic as you.
I have YouTube envy. I have no idea how big your penis is, but I have YouTube envy.
Okay, no, mute your phone or your tablet or whatever, so there's no echo.
Yep.
There you go.
Should be good there. Tablet, you say?
I'm just like I said it offline. I'm proud that you were able to figure out how to do this all by yourself.
I didn't have any help. It was amazing.
I know. I was expecting a call while I was on the toilet or something.
Like, which one's the hard drive? I think I broke the motherboard. Oh.
At least I was awake this time.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been some crazy stuff lately. I can't get into details, but I am suing someone. So
I was just gonna say, how was that going? And you just pretty much answered it. We'll leave it at that.
The paperwork is filled out, and we're leaving it at that because it's now litigious. So,
do you think it'll be a slam dunk?
You remember Joker?
Yes.
He's been quarterbacking it, and he says it's a good idea.
Okay.
So,
what's going to happen? Your life's going to get worse.
Can it?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it can.
Yeah.
But my guy said something. We haven't even discussed like a figure we're going for. All I did was fill out the paperwork. So I imagine they're going to go seek out all the paperwork from all the parties involved and get all the facts together. And then we haven't even like they said they'd take the case, but it's probably going to be one of those, they'll settle out of court and I'll get $5 after lawyer fees and everything else.
No, $5 before lawyer fees, and lawyer fees are like $7.50.
Then I got to pay the lawyer. So, but yeah, it's anyway. The only thing in the universe worse than that. So what happened is, Eric and I were like, let's go back to enjoying old times, kind of through the process of the development of dementia, we forgot that the old times weren't that hot.
Right.
And so
now that we figured
Erica's
out that, because you used to always say, "Hey, I got to get over to your house." I'm like, "No, you just figure out StreamYard, and then we can do this whenever we want."
And the part of my brain that hasn't fully necropsied was like, "Don't do it. He's gonna make you watch bad movies." And so the movie in question was the movie that my homework assignment that I have to watch is
Slam Dunk Ernest.
You asshole.
And I don't know how this came about. I don't know how we got started talking about Ernest, but I do remember that I think we were talking about how many Ernest movies there were, and then you asked me about Slam Dunk Ernest, and you were kind of sold when I said he became a basketball star because he got a pair of magical shoes. And what other people, just for the replay and for the two people that are watching, which is just me and you.
Yeah.
this is like an old series we did before called Prelude to a Review. And don't blame me because Whitey's the one who came up with this idea. The old house I used to live in before, when you used to come over all the time, you literally walked in the door, I got an idea. It's called Prelude to a Review. I make you watch a shitty movie, and then you make me watch a shitty movie back for revenge. And then you realized I know a lot more shitty movies than you do because I can enjoy almost anything. You hate everything that I like. And that's how it started. It started initially with you making me watch A Million Ways to Die in the West, and I fucking hated that. And you made me watch Ted, and then it went back and forth. I made you watch like Universal Soldier and Howard the Duck, and then you ended up liking some of them. You made
Universal
me watch.
Soldier was pretty good. I like that one.
You made me watch. So far, like you made me watch. Like you texted me tonight, and you said, "I'm watching Slam Dunk Ernest. I hate you." And my response was, "Fuck you. You made me watch Fart the movie." So
No. Be cool, because I said I'm watching Slam Dunk Ernest, it's personal now.
Oh, that's right.
That's what
I said. Well, that's what I was like. Fuck you. I watched Fart the movie. But we've had some fun doing these, and then we've done. You made me watch like The Last Outlaw with Mickey Rourke's melted face.
It was so weird.
Yeah, so it's just been. I think you made me watch Soul Man and just a bunch of stuff like that. It's been fun. I made you watch the first Leprechaun, which you didn't hate because Jennifer Aniston is in like tight jeans. You love that.
Yeah, she sits in his body.
And you love the Looney Tunes part where he falls through the fence.
Yes.
But so it's just been an ongoing thing and then you.
Wait, was Soul Man my idea or was that yours?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to watch that. Come on, I'm not that stupid.
But
I made you watch like Baby's Kids and stuff like that. So we've had fun torturing each other, and then Whitey went his separate way, moved to the sticks, and then we just kind of really couldn't get together that often. And now that he finally figured out StreamYard, now we can get back to torturing each other, and we're gonna redo a lot of our old reviews too, not just the preludes. We're gonna get back into Trey Parker and Matt Stone, which we did a lot of the fun stuff, but a lot of the prelude stuff too.
And a lot now that technology is advanced and we're a little bit better at it, we gotta redo some of this anyway. Because when I watch the old stuff, like the quality's not that high.
Mm-hmm.
Should we share this to anywhere to get some people in?
I already tweeted it out, but you can do whatever you want, man. This is your show. And
that's why there's nobody here. Fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. We should be doing this on your channel.
You know what? Just go ahead and roll with it. We could switch back forth. Maybe 1 week we'll do it on your channel. 1 week we'll do it on mine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll with it like it's a regular night. Slam Dunk Ernest. Give us your thoughts. Plot summary.
I got when I texted you, I think the opening credits had just wrapped up.
Okay.
And it was it was bad. It was really bad. So
were you an Ernest fan growing up?
Man, I remember it. What I remember through the haze of dementia. I remember Ernest goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some of that, and I remember laughing at the bit where he had the pen and he was chewing on the pen. Was watching the court case and started leaking ink on him.
Yeah.
And then he played both Ernest, and then he played the villain as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the Halloween one.
That was the one with Randall Tex Cobb, because I know you like Tex.
Okay, it was the jail one.
Yep.
And then there was the Halloween one.
Yes,
Ernest
Scared Stupid.
Scared Stupid.
And he
And
fought a bunch of trolls.
and I don't know if it was probably that one or maybe it was another one. Something about a Native American theme and something.
That was
Supposed to
Ernest
be
goes
the
to
most set.
that was Ernest goes to
Ernest
camp.
Goes to Camp.
That's the very first one.
Okay. And that's my repertoire. I've seen those three. And at 9, 10, 8, 9, 10 years old, I recall them fondly.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being, hey, this isn't that bad. And what I just went through is a war crime. Like it was just awful. It was just awful.
All right, give us beat for beat. Keep going. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the premise for the person that was watching a minute ago. Ernest, there's this little bit in the beginning where he's a kid.
I know. I think I know what got us into wanting to watch this or wanting to do this. Miguel Nunez. We were talking and praising Miguel Nunez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even Miguel couldn't save this thing. Anyways,
my bad.
There's this little bit at the beginning where Ernest wants to play basketball. He's like a 10-year-old kid and he wants to play basketball with the other kids. And they're like, don't shoot it, Ernest. And then he takes a shot. He finally gets a hold of the ball and it ping pongs all over the place. Starts off this chain of chaotic events like, starts a fire, a couple gets knocked over and all this stuff. Flash forward, he's working at a mall for a cleaning company, the Clean Sweeps. And this is so ridiculous. And then the other 5 guys are janitors. They're janitors of the mall. They clean the mall. Mm-hmm. And then 5 minutes after the shift starts, they stop that and they go and play in a city basketball league. And I'm pretty sure I got this right.
Okay.
And then there's a black lady who's doing the announcements, and 2 of the guys have a crush on her. And then they're practicing at the mall itself.
Mm-hmm.
They break stuff. They start a fire. Ernest finally gets over the ball, takes a shot, and knocks a bunch of stuff over. But then when so the guy who's the captain of the basketball team owns that company, the cleaning service. And he's about to lose his contract to this, and then Ernest takes the heat.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide to let Ernest wants to play on the basketball team. It's been his dream his whole life. That they really poorly spelled out. So they say, okay, Ernest, you can play on the basketball team for taking the heat for the accidents that by and large he caused, but this saves their jobs.
Okay.
So he's on the basketball team, but he's basically a cheerleader sitting on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
He screws up. They lose the game by a point because he knocks over some basketballs and gets a technical. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's in the locker room. He's all sad and depressed. This was my one shot to be one of the fellas. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar comes out, and he's the something basketball something. What was he?
I don't know. I haven't watched this movie in like 20 years. I wasn't gonna fucking watch this for you.
The Archangel of Basketball.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Archangel of Basketball.
Does he literally go by that title?
Yes.
Keep going. This is where he gets his shoes, right?
And that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gives him this magical pair of shoes that makes him really fast and fly through the air and great at basketball. This is at the point where, this came out, and I'm like, ass hairs are gone. I'm like, no more. Kill me now. It was bad. It was trash from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So, and there, if it's not already, it just becomes a by the numbers movie where the team captain's kid wants these pair of shoes, and then there's a guy who I think owns one of the shops who sells the shoes, and he's like not Satan, but he's like a demon, tempting the little kid. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the angel. I'm not making that up. If you get to the end of the film, it's not established through the film that much. So
Right, you don't find out he's an angel until like the end of the movie, right?
that it's the last thing he says. He's like, "Oh, by the way." So and then so Ernest gets the shoes. Suddenly, he's really good at basketball. They beat a team, and then there's announcement that the Hornets, which is the NBA team, because you're not familiar. I think it's Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte. I knew that. I knew who the Charlotte Hornets were because I liked their logo. It was like the weird looking like hornet, playing basketball. I remember that. And when you say he, and I do remember this, like he wasn't just good at basketball. He was like, this was like NBA Jam, like flying through the air,
yeah,
stupid bullshit. Yeah,
like he would take off one side of the court, the other, and because it wouldn't work even for this movie, they didn't film that. You would just see three people go. Oh, it's trash. It was just trash. It's just trash. So it's bad. Poor Miguel Nunez. And the guy who plays the captain of the team and the dad and the owner of the business, I've seen him in other stuff. He's just a talented actor. So his young son wants this pair of shoes that cost $250. Mind you, this is the early 90s, so that's $250. And then he's like, he's like trying to teach his son that these shoes won't give you an edge, which is the fat guy who works at the thing. He's the devil. He's like, you should buy the shoes, so boy, that'll give you the edge. Sure. And then his son's like, no, it's hard work. And then his kid's is like, that isn't that what you did? That hard work bullshit. He's like, well, I screwed up. I had a chance at the pros. I didn't go to college. I didn't get an education. And it's just like, oh my God. So Junebug, thank God you're here.
Junebug, save him.
God you're here.
Now that Junebug is here, start the review over.
Oh, we got started at the beginning. Okay, Junebug, man, you gotta feel my pain, brother. You gotta feel my pain.
Go ahead, keep going.
All right, so
Ernest has magical shoes. The devil's trying to get some kid to steal some shoes. Is he going to steal them or buy them?
He's just influencing the kid to want the shoes, and then his dad is like, "No, you need to do hard work." Okay, and which is like just the B story or the C story. I couldn't even tell you. And then Ernest has a crush on a lady that works at the mall, like the least populated mall in the world. There's like 8.
I remember. Yeah, I remember like nobody being at the mall.
Oh, it was so bad. So it's the cute nerdy girl who wants to win the lottery, and then Ernest and they're making googly eyes at each other, and you're like, oh my God, this is awful. Who would ever let that man put himself inside you? Like, who would make that call? And then, like when he screwed up the game, he was being the cheerleader, and he's so annoying with that voice. But he's like, "Give me an L," and he's screwing them up. So at one point they come over and they beat the crap out of him. That was the best part of the movie.
Because you wanted to be beating the crap out of him.
That needed to go on for 20 minutes. Like that needed to be on CNN. This scrawny white guy gets his ass beat by 5 black guys. Like that's the movie. So the team starts winning games. How does this all go down?
Well, you were mentioning the Charlotte Hornets. What's the deal with the Hornets?
Yeah, so the Charlotte Hornets organization wants to have a scrimmage against whoever wins this championship between the local city basketball teams. And then that will be the guy who's the dad and the owner and the guy, his shot to get seen by the pros, his opportunity.
Okay.
And then Junebug says, you guys don't really need to review it. I mean, I've seen all the Ernest movies. I have the guy's phone number who replaced Jim Varney commercials. He'd like 2005.
I know you're new. Now I know you're new to StreamYard. You know, if you click on that, it'll put his comment on the screen. Look at that! So I mean, that's just another thing you can do. For like the other people that are watching. See?
It was just awful. So where are we at? So
Charlotte Hornets, Satan. Dad's telling the kid to work hard. Ernest just got beat up.
They win a bunch of games, and it's like the the premise is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The plot's ridiculous. How it's shot is ridiculous. Ernest is the most annoying thing. Like, I'd rather pull my ass hairs out one at a time. He's just. I remember him being likable and funny, and he's
Right.
not. This is awful.
I remember when the series went straight to video, it went straight down the toilet. Like no one gave a shit. Like this is
This
the
was
same.
good at some point.
I mean, obviously it's the same actor, but it's also the same director. The same director, the guy who directed Ernest Goes to Camp, also directed Saves Christmas, also directed Goes to Jail. He directed every single Ernest movie, so you can tell by now how much he just quit giving a shit too.
So is he on Epstein's list? Like, what kind of sick fuck?
John Cherry III.
Wow. There's actually, because I can understand like where they would angle this for kids, because there's a lesson to be learned, and it's just like 55 other films. It's just like Teen Wolf. It's like a parallel for steroids.
Right.
He has to learn to
be himself,
and so he gets a big head about it, and then it's just straight. It was like at one point it was like Beat for Beat, the movie Basketball with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It's like the same exact thing, only this came first. So it's like, fuck, did they do this? Take this?
Well, see, the difference is Basketball is actually clever and funny, though.
Yes, Basketball at the worst has its moments. So anyway, he gets a big head about himself, and then the devil gets the girl with the lottery tickets to tempt Ernest, and then he screws it up, pisses everybody off, which isn't a stretch at all. And then he has to learn. So he's like trying to give the dad the pass the ball to the dad, and dad wants to win the game. This gets really, God, my ass hurts. Like, this is bad. So
I'm sure there's not much left to the movie, is there?
No, he learns his lesson. They win the game. They win the big game, and then he wanders away. Like, nothing comes from it. So, but the kid, at one point, Ernest takes off the shoes because he wants to just be Ernest again. The kid grabs the shoes, and then he's guilty, turns them back in. And at the last 5 seconds, like the B story is suddenly like what was going on. So now it was all about the angel and the devil, or an angel and a demon fighting over the kid's soul. And Ernest like became the kid's role model, and that made him not use the shoes. And it's just like, so now it's like a Lord of the Rings thing. The shoes.
You are going way too deep. I think
that's what happened. I just watched it. Way too deep is what this film did to my ass. That's what happened here.
Okay, so you've already pretty much said that Ernest was annoying.
Oh God, yes.
And like Junebug says, once Disney lost the rights, they went down the toilet. No one cared anymore, even like Jim Varney. And see, Jim Varney, the thing is, he was like classically trained. Stand-up comedian, stuff like that. A lot of his stand-up is really fucking funny. And
you can Jim Varney stand-up?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Like before Ernest, because Ernest was just a way to pay the bills type of thing for him. I said, he's done Shakespeare, all that shit. But once he get hurt, he was Ernest. He was nothing but country bumpkins. Like he was Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we know no one gave a shit. Let's talk about the other characters. How bad was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I thought he was one of the better parts of the film, in that he was
also in Basketball. There's another connection.
He wasn't bad. He was like playing it straight.
Okay.
So Ernest is and maybe he wasn't bad by comparison. Like everything else made him look fantastic.
It's like standing next to the fat ugly friend, so you look
better.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked thin standing next to a 600-pounder when he weighs 340 pounds or something. It was like that. I'm not saying he was great, but like it was like, oh, thank God. Kareem, you're here. Save us with your like B- acting on your best day from this horrible tragedy. Okay. So he was like the least egregious part of the film.
Now, the main reason that you were at least interested, before I forced this upon you, Miguel Nunez, how is he? Or is he basically not in the movie? Because I don't
It
remember how
was
big his part was.
he didn't do. He was neither great nor horrible.
Okay.
But it was just heartbreaking. It's like, God damn, you were in tour of duty, dude. What happened? Like, and Miguel Nunez, is like, because I've watched an interview where he talks about how he got started. I don't. He wasn't like theater and all that stuff. He's
Mm.
like one of those natural charisma guys,
Yeah, he was, like I
just
said,
natural charm.
he started basically in 1985. That's when he got his first, and his first two movies was a Friday the 13th movie, Friday the 13th Part 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how those movies are, it's just titties and people getting killed. And
Right.
then was also another horror movie called Return of the Living Dead, where he played a punker, a black punker, with, it's a zombie movie. And when he made those, they came out the same year. He was like living in the back of his fucking van. So he was just like lucky to get gigs at that. And now
Right.
look at him. Not a lot of people, like, you go to the person down the street, hey, what do you think of Miguel Nunez? And they'll be like, who the fuck is that? But
Exactly.
people who know who Miguel is, like him. There's like no one who
Yeah.
doesn't like Miguel Nunez. You know what I mean?
It's like I got a cult following, I suppose, or something
He's
akin to that.
always usually like the most memorable part of a movie, even in like Friday the 13th 5 or Leprechaun 4 in Space. I don't know if we ever did that one for a prelude. We did the first one, but St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so we know we got to return to Ireland. But
Oh no.
he's in Part 4, where you might be interested in that one. This one,
Oh no.
it's Space Marines
Ah,
go to a planet where the Leprechaun has kidnapped a princess, and he wants to marry her so he can get all the gold in the universe. And the princess is rescued. Leprechaun is killed. So with it being 1994, the Space Marines, they like to pick on the people they defeat. So this one Marine pisses on the Leprechaun's bones, after he blows him up, and the Leprechaun goes inside the guy's pee hole. So that's how he gets back on the ship. And what happens in later is the Leprechaun literally bursts out of the guy's dick, starts killing people. The only one who survives is Miguel Nunez, who is being chased by a giant spider scorpion man creature that was mutated due to DNA that the Leprechaun put in him. And you like you like Full Metal Jacket. They are being the head guy that's leading the Marines is not played by the guy, not Arlie Ermy, but the guy Arlie Ermy replaced, who is the one who is shooting out of the helicopter. He is in
yeah.
a Leprechaun movie who has a metal plate in his head and ends up cross dressing because that's what the Leprechaun makes him do, and hilarity ensues.
What I was going through just now, it's like when you watch those court movies,
I
the
can't
real
wait till
life.
I can't wait till March where we do the Leprechaun series.
When you watch someone who's murdered a guy and got caught,
Uh-huh.
and he's before the judge, and the judge is reading the sentence, and is it life or is he getting an electric chair?
Mhm.
That's what I felt like just now, as you were saying everything you just said.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, 25 years to life, but then, once the electric chair. Okay, okay. That Why does this happen? Like, who makes these?
Wait until we get to Leprechaun in the Hood,
Oh,
where the main villain.
Ving
It,
Rhames.
no, it's Ice-T.
Oh God, it's even. There's always an even worse. Why do I ask questions?
Ice-T steals the Leprechaun's magical golden flute and becomes a successful rap star. So the
With the
Leprechaun,
flute?
the Leprechaun wants the flute back. There's a group of
Oh,
wannabe rappers who want to stop the Leprechaun but use the flute so they can be successful. And Coolio shows up for like 10 seconds.
and Coolio is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, because he literally walks in while the guys are performing, looks at the camera, and we never see him again.
Okay, and now he's dead. So,
Yep.
wow.
And then the leprechaun goes back to the hood in a sequel. Remember, there's 8 of these, buddy.
So wait, there's Leprechaun in the Hood, and then there's a sequel.
Leprechaun back to the THA hood.
The only way.
Okay, so we got Leprechaun.
No, I get all that,
Leprechaun
but
2. Leprechaun 3 in Las Vegas.
I understand that. But my point is, like, the only way these would keep getting made is if they were making money, and that's why my brain's like,
They made money in the home video market.
wow, like at least how many people is that? So if they spent like yay amount of millions, this many people had to see that movie, and that just like this is why everything's falling apart in humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Jim Varney's fault.
Well, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead too. So
yeah. So you think wars would stop happening? Less school shootings. Jim Varney died. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around any of this. So, are we still talking about the first thing we were talking about?
Ernest, or not Slam Dunk Ernest. We gave up on that because we went went off on a Miguel Nunez tangent.
What were your thoughts on this? When did you see this movie?
The last time I saw this.
You've seen this more than once.
No. I wasn't going to watch this for you. I love you to death, but I'm not going to watch this fucking movie for you. Honest, and all jokes aside, the last time I probably saw this over 20 years ago.
It'd have to be.
And what I remember, see, I didn't remember the girlfriend with the lottery tickets. I remember Ernest being a janitor because he's always a fucking janitor in the mall that no one worked at. I remember Miguel Nunez. I remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Magic Sneakers, NBA Jam moves. I remember Ernest getting a big head, and they all hated him because he became a ball hog. And I didn't remember the devil and the other kid. So, but I remembered the gist of the Ernest stuff.
Well, it wasn't the devil. It was like just a fat guy who was tempting people. But then at the end, like him and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are like, it was a competition, just like the devil, the angels and the devils for people's souls. But unless I missed something, which is entirely possible, is on a lot of pain. That, you know, it like at the last minute, they're like, oh, and that's what we were doing the whole time. You know, it wasn't like they established it throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, because didn't you? And then he walks away saying he was the archangel of basketball. Is that what it was?
Yeah. And then so the devil guy, like at the games, they would cut to him in the stands, and he would like, somebody would be like, hey, can you hand you know how you order a soda from the vendor and then you hand it down, and so as it came to him, he'd like put a hole in the bottom of it. And then, like, it would spill on that guy and that guy, so these guys would fight. So I guess they did establish he's, like...
a bad guy?
You know, yeah, but he's, like... It's like Loki or something. He causes mischief.
Okay.
So at one point, he's standing behind a little kid going, you should get those shoes, kid. So he's like a demon tempting people to
like Jason, like Jason Lee in Dogma.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
That basically, he's like that. Which, so yeah, he's causing trouble for not only the principal characters, but just people, you know, background extras and stuff. And
the viewers.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, he's damn sure. But so yeah, they did it. I guess they did technically establish that. And then that's at the very last conversation. It was like, it was all about the little kid. I'm like, it was all about the little kid? I thought it was about Ernest getting the shoes. Like, what the fuck?
This reminds me of that cartoon Hammerman. Did you ever see that growing up? Because we're only a couple years apart in age. It was a Saturday morning cartoon. And MC Hammer played himself. It was back in the time when, you know, everybody had a cartoon. Rick Moranis had a cartoon. John Candy had a cartoon. Roseanne Barr, Macaulay Culkin. Well,
I remember... What was the one with Bruce Willis? He was
Bruno the Kid, I think it was.
There was something about Bruce Willis. Was Bruce Willis the kid?
I think.
Damn.
And what it was is MC Hammer. I think he's just a guy who works at a store, and he comes across some magical shoes, and he helps saves the kids in the neighborhoods from bad guys, and they help him dance and sing songs.
Wow. See, this is why I remember the 90s fondly, because I remember Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Metallica. I'm not even aware this shit happened.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, you're like the demon, like tempting me and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you got to go see this. It's got Miguel Nunez. It won't be that bad.
Did you ever hear the cartoon Pro Stars? It's with Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky and Bo Jackson. They save the kids from bad guys.
Wow. Okay, so Jim Varney's dead. What else do we got?
I think that's it. Well, I think we're done. So now what you're supposed to do is tell me what I have to watch now.
Oh my God, Jim Varney, all adult male porn. If it was my call, like doing the voice and everything.
Jim Varney, fucking Miguel Nunez.
Oh no! Let's leave Miguel out of this. Miguel did nothing wrong. Miguel, run away.
It's not your fault, Miguel. You tried.
He did. He really didn't. They kind of set him up as a little bit more of the jerk, but it's like at the same time, is he a jerk or is he just making sense?
Right. If you were stuck dealing with Ernest, you'd be a jerk too.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, God, they didn't. Even within the framework of this film, like there's a few shots at the beginning where they shot it like in a close up, in a certain way, and then like once you get past that, they quit. You could just tell they just fucking quit.
Yeah.
Everybody working on this was like, let's just get this over with and be done.
And there was and remember, there's 2 more Ernest movies after this.
Wow. Okay, so now I gotta make you watch.
Yeah. We've been talking almost 40 minutes, which is like basically 35 minutes too long about Slam Dunk Ernest. So what am I?
But I need therapy now, asshole, and you're it. So
okay, so what movie are you shoving up my ass before we?
Well, I don't have a bad one. I have one I just like your take on. Have you ever seen the movie Below? It came out in 2002-ish with Zach Galifianakis as one of the.
You've talked to me about that before on a previous live stream, and I said I didn't want to because I don't like Zach Galifianakis, and I just want to punch him every time I see him.
Yeah, but you're saying that so I can feed you a halfway decent film, which is what it is. But that's your homework assignment.
Okay. Well, I guess we know who's winning so far.
Oh, you're kicking my ass.
Because that's what Prelude's supposed to be. You pick a movie that I don't want to watch.
Right.
But I guess technically I don't want to watch it. All right.
But if only he was the lead, But this one's, it's similar. I think you would see you're such hit and miss. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this because it is a horror film. It's a horror theme, but it's not.
Trust me, there's plenty of horror movies I hate too. So
okay, yeah. This one's the upper end of middling, without being exactly good, and in my opinion. It's like not great.
You're lofting those preludes at me. Okay.
Well, yeah, this is the softball because I had legal issues to do it, and I couldn't go deep to really get you something. I'm just curious about your opinion on this one. But do you want to hear the premise?
Sure. Yeah, that's the point.
Okay, so it's World War II, and it takes place on an American submarine. And what happens? They sink a German U-boat, and then they do a rescue of a British merchant ship, which is like a floating hospital.
Okay.
It's got a bunch of patients from wounded people or whatever the case. That got sank by a U-boat, and so they rescue 3 survivors. And then once there's 2 dudes and a lady. The dude's like semi-conscious. They got him in back, and so they're talking to the 2 Brits a man and a woman trying to figure out what exactly happened, and then shit starts getting weird.
Okay.
Happenings start happening. So at one point, the record player starts playing on its own as they're at the bottom. You know how like if you're a submarine and there's a ship up here,
Mm-hmm.
you got to go quiet because they
Mm-hmm.
got sonar, and if you make noise, they'll hear you. So they do one of those scenes, and right as they're about to slip away, the record player starts playing on its own,
Mm-hmm.
and then they blame the one guy who was like right near it, who they just rescued. Turns out he's a German dude. So this isn't too much of a spoiler. They kill him, thinking he's trying to give away their position, but then shit keeps getting weirder. Then you
Okay.
find out before the film started, the captain of the ship died. But every time, and the logic of the film, you really don't know any of these people yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the Brits are asking the American senior officers that are left what happened to the captain, each time you get a different story.
Okay.
So he died under mysterious circumstances, and so it's is the ghost of the dead captain haunting the submarine, and then people start getting picked off and stuff, and weird shit keeps happening. And then for everything that's going on, there's like a counter argument. Oh, it was a mechanical thing.
Okay.
That would make sense. So you as the audience, are they just seeing shit?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just um, like claustrophobia, like played with your mind,
Mm-hmm.
or did that just actually happen and you don't know?
Okay.
So it's one of those, and it's got so it's interesting. It's pretty well made. I don't know enough about how submarines work to say this. Oh, it wouldn't be that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's researched enough, and it was co-written by Darren Aronofsky, your boy.
Yes, oh God. I just watched The Whale a couple days ago. The new Brendan
I'm,
Fraser movie.
how was that?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm man enough to say I nearly teared up at the end. It's so
Oh,
good, but it's so fucking depressing.
I'll take that on after the
I'll
results of the lawsuit.
I'll be surprised, honestly, if Brendan does not win the Oscar.
Okay.
It was it was very well. You've seen, Aronofsky movies. There's no happiness to those movies. They are, if you feel bad, watch this because someone's definitely got it worse. But
Wow.
if you know the plot,
No, but
okay,
save it for me
okay.
because that's something I would watch. I'm just not in the spot to watch that right
You
now.
can no, you if you are like going through some bad stuff, do not watch it because
Yeah.
it's very sad, and I will be very surprised if Brendan does not win the Oscar. I'll be very, very surprised. He was fantastic. He was so gut wrenching. And remember, this is Encino Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Brendan's always been good. He's just
Yep.
typecast as like the dumb guy, lots of times. But he pulled like School Ties out. You know what I mean? We know he acted his ass off in School Ties. You and me both really enjoy School Ties.
Yeah.
He yeah, he did a fantastic job.
The only place where we ever disagree is that I was rooting for Matt Damon in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Other
No,
than that, I'm
that's because
always rooting for the villain.
you're the asshole.
I'm the asshole. Like I'm always like, God, I hope the Jewish guy doesn't win in the end.
But we both agree that Brendan was really good in School Ties.
Yes, yeah. He's. I can't think of anything where he was like bad, as much as like the movie wasn't that good.
Right?
But when he's in a good film, he's
Yeah,
good.
he just always got typecasted as like
Yeah.
either the hunky goofy guy like the Mummy movies,
Yep.
or like every time Pauly Shore did a movie, he'd have to show up as Link. You know what I mean? In a
Yep.
cameo. But yeah, it was really fucking good.
Wow. He's been capable from word go to do
Hmm.
that super more dramatic stuff.
Hmm.
Just needed the right role.
And well, now he's got a film coming out with Martin Scorsese of all people. So he's definitely,
Naturally.
yeah.
Yeah. It's about time. While we still have, of course, Casey, we got to get Brendan Fraser in there. Well, we still have Brendan Fraser because that's how fucking old we're getting.
Yeah.
We're running out of people.
Throw Miguel Nunez in there. You'll really be set.
I've had 2 people from my graduating class pass away
I saw
in the
you.
last month or 2.
I saw you because you posted that old like 6th or 7th grade picture or whatever it was.
Fifth grade.
And you mentioned a couple people's
6th.
names.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize their names, but it's sad when it's people our age or younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then when I did that, and I got so much crap always going on. I either found out or was re-informed and re-remembered another dude died. I'm like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I missed all the funerals because of my back.
Yeah.
Like I can't even do that. Which is like a crap. Oh, sorry you're dead. You know, my back's a little sore.
Right.
But no, I legit. Oh, and I'm going in for an MRI as soon as they get one scheduled. If you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, the Brendan Fraser guy's got problems. Step into my world, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But what so Below.
Yeah.
I'd like to get your thoughts on that. Again, it's not bad, it's not great. It's the upper end of Midland.
I'm surprised because
really good atmosphere.
As long as I've known you, never seem to be too much of a horror guy.
I'm not.
Like the only horror movies that I know that you've enjoyed to some extent, it's like Ghost Ship. You know what I mean? And the Ghost Ship didn't blow you away. You just thought it was fun. But you also like
it's pretty good.
You also like Carl Urban and whoever the fucking blonde haired dude was.
It'll come to me in a few minutes.
Yeah,
but Below, you're gonna recognize most of the cast. So the guy who takes over as the captain is the captain in the new Star Trek remakes or the newer-ish with the JB. Is it J.J. Abrams?
Let's see.
You know, with Chris Pine.
It says, let's see. Below 2002 submarine movie. Yeah. Oh, directed by David Twohy. He did the Pitch Black movie. He did Pitch Black.
Okay, yeah.
It's got Matthew Davis. I don't know him. Don't know Bruce Greenwood. Scott Foley. Ooh, okay. Jason Fleming. I like Jason Fleming.
Yeah. Jason Fleming's been in a bunch of stuff.
Zach Galifianakis plays Weird Wally. Jason Fleming plays a guy named Stumbo. Okay. There's a character named Pappy. Okay.
You've seen all these. Once you're watching this movie, you see all these actors. Junebug says Brendan Fraser was James Cameron's choice to play Jack in Titanic, but girls on set wanted Leo.
I've heard that too.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Who didn't want Leo in 1997? Or 1995, 1996 when they shot it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get you 2 cents on that. It's got a good cast, good atmosphere. It's not great, but it's solid.
Now, you do realize, even though I'm a friend of yours,
yes,
20 plus years, and you're doing a favor, I guess, of not making me watch trash. It doesn't change. What is my choice?
When it's your turn again, and then I need to come up with 2 scoops of dog shit to
you give me 2 scoops, I'm giving you a trough. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. We got to do next Friday. We got to do this on your channel.
We'll do that next time. Like we'll switch channels. So your channel this week, mine next, yours next.
That's a good idea.
Stuff like that. And what I think we should do is like we can just make these like just one stream. Like even though this was just like Slam Dunk Ernest, we don't have to stop this and do another fucking separate stream because what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll just stream of conscious all the way through.
Yeah. And we just like we normally do. If we get fucking tired of talking, we get tired of talking. We just know we're going to at least talk about the Prelude stuff.
We got to talk about this though, because Junebug says Brendan Fraser would have been better at Titanic instead of Leo. That's a tough sell, my friend. I like Brendan Fraser.
At the time, yes. At the time, Leo was still starting out because Leo had only done like Growing Pains
You're
and
talking
he
about
did.
during casting, or you're talking about as the result of the film? So, like, when you're going into casting, it's like, who do we go with, Brendan Fraser or Leo? Or are you talking about
Well,
once the
no,
film is done?
I don't know. I think casting. See, now I just thought of because Leo also did What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and he
Yeah,
was really good in that, and he had already been nominated for an Oscar. I still think okay, I understand Leo was probably a bigger like rising star at that because Brendan only did School Ties, which no one saw but us, and he did Encino Man, which we were the only ones you saw because we were the Pauly Shore generation. We were.
I still haven't seen that movie. I don't know what you're talking
You have,
about.
oh, okay. Well,
I've tried. I've tried, man.
okay. Get ready, fucker. Um,
Do you remember in the movie The Rock where Nicolas Cage has to shove the thing in his eye?
I've seen that movie once.
Been a while.
I can't do Nicolas Cage anymore. He's so fucking retarded now, and he like embraces that. I can't do it. Like I was listening to a podcast just today, and they were talking about the movie Face Off. The one he did with John Travolta. And I'm like, man,
Sure.
I remember loving that movie, but now as 41 years old, I'm like I wouldn't be able to sit through that pile of shit because it's Nicolas Cage being a retard mixed with John Travolta trying to be Nicolas Cage being a retard. You know what I mean?
Right. Did you like? So you? I don't honestly know. No, you are a fan of it. At the time, you were a fan of Face Off.
Hmm. I probably haven't seen it in like 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to revisit it. Like we've all got those movies that we really liked when we were younger that we're afraid to revisit
Sure.
because we know we'd fucking hate it. That's definitely one of them.
There's been a bunch of those lately that I've either watched or caught clips of, and I start seeing things. I'm like, I loved this when I was 22, and I'm falling out of love with it. I'm not
Yeah.
so sure, and I don't want to go there. I want to keep it as a
Mhm.
happy memory because I'm gonna see shit.
Yeah.
Uh, what was Junebug says my biggest problem with Titanic is Leo looks like a little kid, or at least a young teenager going after a woman.
He does. He,
Really?
he he looks like he's 15 in that movie. Like he looks a little bit older than like when he was in Critters 3. That's another movie you and me need to
That's a
redo.
problem.
But that's
If
another.
if the
Well,
boot was on the other shoe,
well,
if it was
it's
like an old guy going after a young girl, but when it's the young dude, I'm like, go get him, Skippy.
well, it's different when he looks like he's underage. You know what I mean? If he looked like he was 18, who wouldn't care?
He doesn't strike
Plus,
me as that
plus,
young in
plus,
that
it's
movie.
Kate Winslet. Winslet's hot as fuck. You don't want some little kid banging her. You know what I mean?
He doesn't strike me as that young.
He
In
looks like he
Titanic,
looks like he's 15, 16 at Titanic.
I don't get that vibe.
Uh-huh.
What was he? He was in Romeo and Juliet,
Mm-hmm.
and there I would have bought. If he was that shit, I would have saw that freshman year. So that had to be pre '97.
I think it
So
was like
just a
95. I
couple
think it was
years
like
earlier,
95.
yeah.
Yeah. Because Critters 3, I think, was 93. That was his first movie.
I need to go watch that. I've seen clips of it.
Oh, you'll be watching it. Trust
Yeah,
me.
no.
I already had plans. It's about the critters crash land, end up in an apartment complex. And it's gone like you've seen the first one. The first one you didn't mind. You know what I mean? It
No,
had
not
some
at all.
good horror elements, good sci-fi.
Could
This one
use a
is
little more Billy Zane.
this one is pure slapstick and critters fart.
Oh no. It's getting bad. It's getting bad.
When the critters have a farting
Um,
contest.
I don't know. Maybe I got to go watch it again. I didn't think Leo struck me as particularly young looking. I would have put him in. I would have thought they were the same age,
Mm.
like almost within a year or two apart of an age with Kate Winslet at that point. But Leo's got to be in his. How old is he now? He's got to be in his 50s. If he's not 50s, he's got to be getting close. He's got to be upper 40s, if not 50.
Oh, he's at least in his 40. He's 48.
48.
48.
And now I got to get out a calculator and do math. 97.
Romeo and Juliet was 96. I like Leo. He's done some good movies. I still haven't
Oh
seen
yeah.
The Revenant, which I heard was fantastic.
No, I saw that.
See, Titanic was good for what it was. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino movie, that was really good.
Okay.
He was
I
really good.
can't stand Tarantino. I ain't going near him.
Oh, I fucking hate him.
Wait, did I just say that out loud? Fuck.
You know me. I hate Quentin Tarantino with a passion, like on a personal level. Filmmaker, he's pretty good. He's good, but as a person, he's a piece of trash. I think you would dig Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think you'd appreciate it.
Maybe. All right, Junebug's on the same page as we are. Romeo and Juliet was 1996. Critters 3 was 1991.
Oh, there you go.
When did he do that Western, The Quick and the Dead?
He was in The Quick and the Dead. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say like 93. Because I think it was right before Romeo and Juliet. Because Romeo and Juliet is what made him a name. Yeah, Quick and the Dead, I got to see that because it's Sam Raimi. I like Sam Raimi a lot. And I know, was it Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone, right?
Yes. It had a good cast. It had a really good cast. The Gladiator played the lead.
Okay.
What's his name? Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe.
Fighting around the world.
Okay, Quick and Dead was 95. I thought so. The 90s, even the movies in the 90s where I was like, this is garbage. Now I'm like, this is so much better than the shit they got now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. It's all just falling off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the 90s so much. So what are we talking? What are your thoughts on The Quick and the Dead?
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
What was I saying? Something about jerking schmirking? Your new homework assignment. Should I hit you with this now? You have to watch The Quick and the Dead. Do The Quick and the Dead this time.
Okay.
And then, am
I going to hate Quick and the Dead?
I don't fucking know with you. Because I can't stand it.
But see, that's the...
I can't stand it. So
that's fine. If you can't stand the movie, that counts. But you have to give me a little bit of a plot. Other than just saying it's a Western. Why you hate it. Okay, why do you hate it?
So the premise is Gene Hackman kind of de facto runs this town. Mm-hmm. And all these, I don't even know, I don't remember the rationale as to why. But all the shooters come to town, and there's like a competition where they do a quick draw. And up here you got the clock. And when the clock strikes 12, dong, they draw.
Okay.
And then you can kill the guy or wound the guy, and that's kind of up to you. So Leo, for example, he takes on the muscular dude from Mallrats and all those movies.
Oh, okay, LaForce.
I'm pretty sure it's LaForce.
Okay.
And he shoots him in the leg, and he's like, "Are you done, Mrs. Swedish guy?" And he like throws the gun and says, "Yes, I'm done. You win." So, and then there's all these. It's like a Japanese anime in style, in a sense. So there's all these push-ins, really dramatic push-ins. David Keith is in it.
Not Keith David.
Keith David. Keith David, the black guy.
Okay, I was gonna say black guy or white guy.
Everything. He's in everything.
That's Keith David.
Keith David.
Keith is white.
Oh, so Keith David is in it. Russell Crowe. You mentioned Sharon Stone, Leo, Gene Hackman. Your guy from the Aliens.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen. He's in it.
Okay.
He plays some stolen valor asshole. It's got a deep cast, but it's just too. It's too like you kill. There's this whole Gary Sinise
kill my paw type of bullshit.
Yeah, and so Jane Hackman killed Sharon Stone's dad when she was a little girl. She's out for revenge. She hires Lance Anderson. She shoots a guy in the balls. It's all those tropes. And that's what I just hate. So they want to do...
That sounds more like a prelude than fucking Below will be. All right.
Yeah, this is... It's...
We can do.
So
Let's do below as just like a regular movie review type of thing. That's fine.
yeah, we'll cover that later. We're doing The Quick and the Dead,
It doesn't.
and I don't know because if I'm shitting in my hat, it's one of your favorite films,
right.
and then so I don't know if you're gonna love this or hate
I know
this. I
that
couldn't tell you.
isn't that the fun part, for you that you don't know if I'm gonna enjoy a piece of crap or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, the fun part. We'll call it the fun part. I don't know when the gray fox is gonna attack me from which flank over here. I know you're gonna crush my ass.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
gonna
like I
walk.
might wait. There's so much stuff I can throw at you. Jurassic Dead,
Oh my
Shark
God.
Shark Exorcist, um, Amityville in space. So many things.
Wait, what? Amityville in space?
Yeah, yeah.
Was Ryan Reynolds in that one?
I don't know, but I'm actually going to review it for my channel. You know, but it's basically the Amityville house has now gone. You know what? Let me read the plot.
Wait, the Amityville? Oh my God.
Amityville in space. Oh God, there's an Amityville in the hood.
You know, a real family got
It
murdered.
literally just says the only thing it says here we go. Amityville in space, 2022, just came out. The
Oh
ultimate
God.
battle against the Amityville curse begins after the infamous murder house is exorcised from Earth and reappears in outer space. That's it. That
Wow.
currently has on IMDb. It currently sits with a 3.7 out of 10.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Holy shit! There's one that is rated 5.4 called Amityville Thanksgiving. A struggling couple visit a marriage counselor for the holiday as a last resort. Soon after they realize he has a sinister intentions that may make Thanksgiving their last. Jesus fucking Christ!
What is? I know he's dead, but I really would love to see have 10 minutes with Butch DeFeo.
Amityville Turkey
His
Day.
reaction.
Amityville Turkey Day.
What is it about that situation that you just throw Amityville in there and people keep coming to the theater?
Amityville. How many Amityville movies are there? Holy shit.
It's just the fucking name. Nobody watching these movies knows a thing about what happened.
Okay. It started 1979, Amityville Horror. Amityville 2, The Possession.
Josh Brolin's dad. Brolin.
Yep. I actually like the original one wasn't too bad. James Brolin and Margot Kidder. You know,
we talked about that way back.
Yeah, you get to see her boobies.
God, Margot Kidder. Kidder. Holy cow.
Yeah. Amityville 2, The Possession. Amityville 3D. Amityville Horror, The Evil Escapes. Amityville Curse. Amityville 2, 1992, It's About Time. Amityville, A New Generation.
Keep going.
Okay. Amityville.
The hate and discontent.
Amityville, 1992, It's About Time. Amityville, A New Generation. Amityville Dollhouse. Then there was the 2005 remake. Amityville Haunting. The Amityville Asylum. Amityville Death House. Amityville Playhouse. Amityville Vanishing Point. Amityville Toy Box.
Oh, my asshole. My gritty, rotten asshole.
The Amityville Terror.
Oh.
This one sounds like your life. Amityville No Escape. Yeah. Amityville The Awakening. Amityville Exorcism. Amityville Clown House. Amityville Murders. Amityville Cop. Amityville High. Return to Amityville. Amityville The Beginning. Amityville The Legacy 3D. Amityville The Final Testament. Amityville in Space. Now, just a guess. How many Amityville movies are there?
Fuck, you just read it. That was so... No.
Just give it out. How many do you think that was?
21.
29.
What? Holy criminy. Dude.
Yeah, I'm going to make you watch like 25 of them.
as Junebug is pointing out, the three of us could make an Amityville because Amityville is public domain
Mhm.
by default because it's a town and you can't trademark a town. Junebug, that is a game plan, my friend.
And that's what.
Amityville in the bathroom.
Oh, I just thought of what else I can make you watch.
Hold on. You
Thank
were
you.
hearing me. Amityville in the bathroom, not Amityville and the bathroom. I just want to be clear. The whole
Amityville.
movie shot in the bathroom.
I think there's also I think there's one called,
Might as well.
let's see, Amityville film series.
It's all about what my pills are doing to my guts right now. I've been shit. My poops are like this, coming out of a hole that ain't that big, and that's what it's all about. It's a guy who has to have really bad crap for an hour and a half, and all he can do is
Oh, I missed a bunch. Hold on. There's
the
a
bathroom. So, but wait, what is haunted?
wait.
Is the bathroom haunted or are the poops haunted?
Amityville No
Yeah.
Escape. Amityville Never Dies. Amityville Exorcism. Amityville The Awakening. Now here's the ones that I missed that weren't on IMDb.
Wow.
Amityville Mount Misery Road. The Amityville Murderers. Amityville Island. This one I'm a little interested in. Amityville Vibrator.
Where'd that thing go anyway?
The Witches of Amityville Academy. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Amityville Harvest.
In there. Keep
And
going.
Amityville Poltergeist. The Amityville Moon. Amityville Cult. Amityville Vampire. Amityville Scarecrow. Amityville Uprising. Amityville Gas Chamber. Amityville in Space. Whoa, holy shit. They've made more sense, Amityville in Space. Amityville Hex. Oh, I know what we're doing. Instead of Leprechaun in the hood, there's Amityville in the hood. Amityville Karen.
But we can always call it Calamityville, Junebug.
Amityville Thanksgiving, and then Ghost of Amityville. There, I'm fucking done. That's too much Amityville.
Calamityville and the Haunted Turlet.
But
Brian, you mean Junebug?
No. Junebug gave me a great idea.
Hold on.
Okay.
Narrated by Sasha.
No.
We'll get Sasha to narrate.
No. Junebug gave me a great idea. He mentioned public domain.
Right.
There's a new horror movie that came out that is garbage. Even I don't like it. Really? Coming soon to Prelude to a Review. Whitey reviews Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Came out just last week. It's the you know the story of Winnie the Pooh and the 100-Acre Woods, correct?
So it's not a play on words. It's not a movie about a poop. It's the actual bear in the shirt.
Yes. Winnie the Pooh now entered public domain.
This is why they hate us. This is why 9/11 happened. This is why Pearl Harbor happened. This is why they hate us.
And the plot is, it's the 100-Acre Wood, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Rabbit and Owl and Eeyore. You know, they're living it up with Christopher Robin. Yeah. Christopher Robin decides to leave for college because he's become a man. You know, he ages, the animals don't. Well, in the 5 years that Christopher Robin was gone to college, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and all the other animals turned feral because no one was there to take care of them. They didn't eat. They lost their minds. Eventually, they were starving, and they got together and ate Eeyore. Now, Christopher Robin comes back from college. He's with his fiance, and then what do you do when you have this hot chick that's going to marry you? You tell her you used to live in a fantasy land with a talking Pooh Bear and Piglet and everything. So he takes her to the 100-Acre Wood. Pooh and Piglet are the only ones there, and they're now grown in size. They're dressed like hillbillies out of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They kill Christopher Robin's fiance. They take him hostage and torture him for 90 minutes. And then there's a bunch of college girls that are vacationing in a cabin nearby. And Pooh and Piglet become serial killers to kill these chicks. Now, there There are titties, which you can
Yeah.
appreciate, but this movie is one of the most boring movies I have seen in a long, long time. Interesting concept. As dumb as it sounds, it's an interesting concept, but it's fucking boring as shit. And
So
that's
it
coming.
doesn't have Miguel. Miguel's not in this.
He might be in the Winnie the Pooh suit. We don't know.
He could play Christopher Robin.
No, Chris. No, it's not animated. It's live action.
Oh my God. Where's Ving Rhames?
Maybe I think he's probably Piglet because they're
Wow.
both really, really fat, and it's so awful, dude.
The one little piece of icing on the turd that always kept me from becoming a mass murderer myself
Mm-hmm.
is dead. Because who's the guy that needs to be in this movie?
Gilbert Gottfried.
And now he's gone.
Gilbert Gottfried could voice Eeyore as they're eating him.
The one thing keeping me from becoming the next Hitler, and he's gone.
Have you
Now I
ever?
have to stop
you ever
this all.
There's I think it's Cardi B. She's just a rapper that you would kill yourself if you had to listen to.
And I need to start taking some of that
Hold
because
on.
I've been pinged so much.
She has a song called WAP, Wet Ass Pussy. Have you ever seen the video of Gilbert reading the lyrics to Wet Ass Pussy?
Yeah, that'd be hysterical. As Iago the parrot. Yeah.
If you can, I don't know if you can, like search that up on YouTube right now. Like open up another tab and type in Gilbert Gottfried reads WAP.
Am I watching that right now or just?
I think it would be hilarious. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Okay, Cardi B, WAP.
Gilbert.
How do I do this?
I don't know how to screen share, but if you play it, you should be able to hear the video. If not, you can't. You can just watch it later. But it's one of the. It's just Gilbert.
I'll
doing
do a reaction video to it.
Yes, please.
Like 5 minutes. We'll when we finish this up, we'll do one more real, like a short, and it's just me going with a face, horrified, or laughing hysterically.
Oh well, you know what? Pull it up on your tablet. Can you pull it up on your tablet? Or would that be too much tech for you?
No, I could do. I'm saying like I can do this with me and the video.
Oh, you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure I've done it before, I think.
Well, here, let me see if I can find it. I'll send you the link.
No, I got it right over here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to do it from StreamYards. I know how to do it from OBS.
Okay, because I know there is a way for you to like screen share, but I don't know how to do that.
I'll do that. I'll do that on OBS.
Okay.
So I'm just more familiar with OBS than I am.
Okay.
This, and we don't need two old guys staring at shit right now. Oh my god, the list. This is gonna be fun. This is the Blitz. I feel like you're Russia and I'm Ukraine, and I have no fucking hope.
This is gonna be great. Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun. I can make you watch a Ouija shark. It's about a group of people that play with an Ouija board, and for some reason, the spirit they conjure up is a shark that flies through the air and tries to eat them. I can make you rewatch Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh God!
I forgot. Oh man,
Junebug, weren't you the one saying that they were actually there? Yes, there are, I believe, 45. Oh my! Like how? Why?
Oh my God! I can make you watch the Puppet Master movies.
How am I supposed
this is gonna be so much fun.
Oh, I can't defend our society. If this shit keeps getting how many? 45?
Yeah. Oh, this
why?
Oh man. There's the Insane Clown Posse movies I can make you watch.
Hold on a minute. It was sitting here the whole time. I can't believe I didn't see that. So there we go.
That's your Amityville vibrator.
I was gonna bring this up at some point. Like it's like Jim Varney's June the cheerleaders, go team. And I'm just like,
Okay.
That's all I got for you.
Oh,
Okay, it was still right there. I was looking all over for it.
I just want.
We got it, Junebug. We got to get you in here, if not figured out now, like one of these times. Eric, what do you know about it?
About what?
How do we get Junebug on here?
You could just send him the link like you sent me the link.
Or you could put it on Facebook. I don't have
okay.
Him on Facebook.
You can actually put the link in the chat if you want to.
Yeah, but then
then the person can click on it. You can easily remove that comment as well.
Yeah. Okay, Junebug, we're rolling some dice here, buddy.
Yeah, see?
And then he left. I don't know.
You mentioned you mentioned 45 Amityville movies, and he just took.
Lord.
Can you blame them?
We can make him watch Manos Hands of Fate, the movie. I think. Oh, should click on that.
I've heard that. I've heard Manos and Hands of Fate is awful.
Who the fuck is Manos?
I'm looking at it right now. Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's see here. What else am I looking at?
Oh, God.
Man's Best Friend with Lance Henriksen. City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold. I can make you rewatch Earth Girls Are Easy. Remember where Jeff Goldblum plays an alien?
Okay, Junebug.
There he is. There's Junebug.
Is my mic working?
Yes, it is.
I hear you just fine.
Okay. I was on a stream earlier, and my phone decided to be a dumbass. So.
Oh yeah, blame it on the phone, buddy.
Right.
Hey, that's okay. You're welcome here, man. You know, just another couple dumbasses. So, phone or not.
Yep.
Yeah. No. I think there's like 45 Amityville movies, and there's like 6 of them in production right now.
Oh fuck me.
Why?
It's literally because you cannot trademark the name of a town.
Right.
So because it's recognizable IP.
Yep.
That's all it is. Like I'm saying, we could do an Amityville movie and make some hey, Whitey said that someday he's going to be a great filmmaker, and Steven Spielberg's going to lick his taint. So
yeah,
here's your big chance.
Well, yeah, Steven Spielberg. Whitey's lucky if Uwe Boll will lick his taint of all people.
I live on this I live on the spookiest looking farm in North America. Like, we've got what we need right here.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. There you go. I mean, I already had a great idea. Feel free to use it. And I'm saying this live, but there's hardly anybody watching. So, but just me. But the Lutz kids go back to the house. So you just cast 3 people. I don't think MGM has trademarked the name of the Lutz kids.
Right.
Because I don't think they really care.
The Lutz kids don't even care about the Lutz kids.
Exactly. So if MGM sues us, it's just like it creates more awareness to the film anyway. So MGM, go ahead and sue us.
You just change the name. They're the Plutz kids or something. That's all you got to do.
Plutz.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so yeah. Or we could just get away with it because of maybe we could just make it so bad we could just say parody law. So
yeah.
And you would be great. All you got to do is call up your brother, get Grace involved. You got the 2 killers right there.
And come on, look at Whitey. He's already supporting that James Brolin type of beard.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm there. And Grace scares the shit out of everybody anyway. So we're good.
Drew Bob likes them guns. So
yeah, we got an arsenal here.
Get your mom involved.
Okay, this is going too far now. I don't know if I get all those people in a room and we don't have the real deal happening anyway. Like, well, hey, Bob show, there might be casualties. Like, I'm just saying.
Kill two birds with one stone.
I mean, hey, don't worry though. At least all of us would check our weapons if something happened. Unlike a certain somebody who's going into getting right now.
It's not the actor's job. If I'm on a set of film and somebody hands me a firearm,
well, I got a question.
It's not my job.
Is it? But as the producer, shouldn't he be responsible as well, though?
I don't know what his role as a producer was, and that depends.
Yeah.
But he's not responsible as the actor. And everybody keeps saying that. Like, when you pick up a firearm, you're responsible. It's like, that's in real life.
Yeah, I'm no fan of Alec either. I hate him with a passion. I can't stand him. Yeah. Right. Well, I just keep telling myself that why couldn't it have been Steven? And what I mean by that is, why couldn't he been on the other end of the pistol?
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who's like the least egregious. Not counting Adam, because that's a different family, and he's the shit.
Yeah.
But like Steven, Billy, and Alec.
Well, Daniel's awful, but no one remembers Daniel.
Right.
I think Billy's the best out of all of them, honestly.
Billy at least had a career. He was the heartthrob for a while.
But wait, as a person or as an actor? Because he's probably the least egregious as a person.
Well, from what I've heard, like, Billy doesn't get along with any of his brothers, so they don't want to see. No, he said, I don't want to see Alec. I don't want to see Daniel. I don't want to see Steven. So,
wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you must be a jerk when your own family doesn't want to see you.
And that's what we're doing wrong with our respective channels. We need to conjure up some drama here, where Eric did some horrible shit, and like that Eliza Blue. Somebody's got to do something just awful, because this mild-mannered old white people thing, talking about movies. And did we lose? Oh, you blinked. Okay, you're good.
I'm here.
A lot of people I've seen Eric before in some of my friend groups. They don't really like me too much, so there's that.
Everybody likes Eric though, and so
they don't know any better though. They don't know any better.
Eric, who did it? It was
yeah.
Depends on who I'm with. I act a lot different when I'm with Whitey than when I'm with the other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just act like myself all the time. So
it all depends. But the thing is, and I could respect that 100%. Junebug is like, I just get annoyed real easily. You know what I mean? If I say something, and like, I don't want to say like if I'm my true self, because I am myself on every channel I'm on. It's just, I know what to say on certain channels. I want to do is because I just don't want to deal with anyone just yelling and screaming and just annoying the piss out of me, because it's not worth it.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just it's just funny, to me how people bring up these topics, and then you state your opinion about it, and then you just have one that's against the norm of the conversation, and then you're the one that is looking like
you're the asshole.
Yeah, I was not gonna say the asshole because it's not really assholeish, but yeah, right. But no, it's fun. At this point, I just kind of find it funny, but not in an ironic way. More nonetheless,
it's just so stupid, man. I mean, like, just think of it. We're all adults. We're all talking about stupid shit that doesn't fucking matter. Why is everybody always getting pissed off of a difference of opinion? Who cares?
Exactly. I mean, the funny thing is, like, I'm 30 years old, and I'm getting, and I relate to guys more your age than a lot of people my age on here. It's like, what, did your parents not spank you enough or something?
Oh, Jesus Christ. My mom terrified me. She had, whether it was the leather belt or she had this big fucking wooden mixing spoon that she would smack me with. You know what I mean? But
you have a mother? This is
I
the
grew
first
up on-
time you've ever mentioned your mom to me in 20 years.
Yeah.
This is
I
making
grew up on
sense.
I grew up on a farm in literally Kansas nowhere.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you know, you better feed the horses and feed the cattle because if you don't, as a fat kid, you don't get dinner that day. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom would sit there and say, "Fair is fair. You didn't feed the animals, so you don't eat."
Mm-hmm.
And
It's just so stupid nowadays, man. Just people getting just pissed off over the dumbest fucking, and that's why, like, a lot of times I don't even do fucking YouTube because it's just I don't want to deal with a lot of people because it's just dumb. And okay, like we'll bring up something. I did a video once on like the latest Halloween movie. And the reason why I did it is because everyone's just acting so fucking stupid with each other because some people hate the movie so much and they have to attack the people that love the movie. And then vice versa, the people that love the movie are calling the people that hate the movie fucking idiots. And I'm like, who cares? Get a life, get a girlfriend, go get laid, go have fun. You know what I mean? Quit fucking hating on someone just because they hated the last fucking Michael Myers movie. Who cares? Because in 5 years there's gonna be another one that's gonna be just as shitty. It doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. And
It doesn't matter.
well, what I can't get over is that Winnie the Pooh horror movie cost $15,000 and has already made close to $3 million at the box office.
It has.
And he's already doing a sequel with Tigger.
Yep.
He's going to do a Mickey Mouse horror movie which good luck with that because Disney, from what I've heard, is already in the process of trademarking the name Mickey Mouse, so he can't legally use Mickey Mouse.
I know he's going to do a Bambi one, and he's doing Peter Pan.
Right, which I mean,
I could be interested in the Peter Pan one. I'll give it that because that story's creepy as shit.
Well, the original movie's a horror book. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Peter Pan eats the Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just I don't get the internet sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong. As Whitey, I like a lot of stupid shit. A lot of stupid shit. I've made him watch a lot of stupid shit that I love. But it's just like some of these people, I think it's like hate watching, and that's why it's made so much money. I think a lot of it is even if they hate the movie, they want to say they love it just to kind of irk people because there's some people out there that are saying this is like the best horror movie they've seen this year. I'm like, what else have you fucking seen to compare it to? And some people are saying it's like a 10 out of 10. You're really giving this piece of shit a 10 out of 10. And I mean, granted, who the fuck am I to say it's a piece of shit? You know what I mean? But I'm like, I just don't have time for these people that you can tell they're not being truthful. There's no way this movie is a 10 out of 10. I don't care how much you love it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's one of the reasons why I've started to, I like the more honest YouTube guys like, Rambo Raff for life. His stuff. Yeah. I think he's kind of lost his touch a little bit because, he's like, I get paid now to do movies, but I can still see the passion a little bit. But no, like some of these popular YouTubers, I'm like, okay, if you really like this, cool. But, it's because, if you say you didn't like it, you don't get as much money.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, look at Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. Like, they did not like a lot of these classic movies that we all love now.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't care at all,
That's the one thing I respected about them, even though I couldn't stand them, is they weren't bullshitting you. If they say they hated a movie, you knew they fucking hated the movie. You say they liked the movie, you knew they fucking liked the movie. And you can tell in a lot of these YouTubers that they're not being truthful, that they're reading something off a script. You know what I mean? That's why, and I'm just talking about myself. Like, that's why I never take notes. I just go what's off the top of my head. Like, if I hate this thing, I'm going to fucking say it. I'm going to say what I hate about it. If I like it, I try to look for the good and the bad. It's like you can tell a lot of these YouTubers. Like, what I really hate is when YouTubers go on these rants that you can tell are fake. Like you can tell, like, and that was another thing again with this last Halloween movie. How much of a pathetic loser are you that you have to literally rant for 90 minutes over a Halloween movie?
Yeah, well, what I love is there's guys, and I'm not, I can't even embellish this, who like did a 6-hour rant about that latest Halloween movie. All I'll say is, I have a little bit of insomnia sometimes, so thank you for the background noise to help me go to sleep.
Right. Yeah, no shit.
And I've commented that to them before, and then they then they think it's a hate comment. But I'm like, hey, it's kind of, I'm being sarcastic
Right.
a little bit, but hey, thank you though, genuinely. So because insomnia sucks. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been having some of that because of the meds they got me on. I just toss and turn all night. It's misery. Junebug, I gotta put you on the spot here, buddy, because Eric and I have been fighting a civil war for about 20 years now. What are your thoughts on Howard the Duck?
Oh, Jesus.
I think it's fun bad. It gets points because anything with Leah Thompson is bonus points for me because
Leah Thompson in her underwear.
Yes, and if you pay attention, you can see boobies. Get the laser. Get the laser disc.
Yep.
Do the frame by frame thing. You can see boobies, and the close up.
Coming soon to Whitey the White Guy show. Howard the Duck laserdisc version, right?
Gilbert's gone, man. He's gone.
Yeah. You so wanted Gilbert Gottfried to do, and the thing is, the fact that he was the Affleck Duck, that was as close as you were going to get.
I know.
And then he got fired for bullshit reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's made a joke. He's a stand-up comedian. What do you expect?
Yeah. He's not just a stand-up comedian. He's a filthy comedian. They should have done their research. You know what I mean?
Nobody even. I did not even know that was Gilbert Gottfried until until they fired him. I'm like, that was Gilbert Gottfried that did the Affleck Duck.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew that because.
Hopefully, we're getting out of that hole because he sent a tweet. There was a hurricane in Japan, and he sent a tweet saying, "Go vacation in Japan. The beach comes to you." Okay. Well, no, it was a tsunami. It was a tsunami. And so all these people died in a tsunami. And it's like, dude, he sent a tweet.
Yeah.
Get over it.
But look at James Gunn, who 10 years ago sent a, joke about pedophilia. Now he's running the DC universe and Warner Brothers, and he's making Marvel movies.
Yeah, and then he was fired from Disney, and then Disney rehired him, which is hypocritical of Disney because, then Disney rehired him, and then they fired him again. It's like, dude,
it's all about the money. It all has to fit their perspective.
Yeah,
it's about the money, and then will you toe the line? Mm-hmm. So will you preach the ideology? And it's like in every film now. You can't.
Well, it's also like you got to know who you're hiring. Okay, it's like the Affleck Duck with Gilbert. Gilbert's a filthy motherfucker. James Gunn got started in the Troma movies. Toxic Avenger, Tromeo and Juliet, where there is a giant penis monster. James Gunn himself was in Toxic Avenger 4, where he played a character who was parodying Stephen Hawking, complete with wheelchair and broken neck and bent arms and stuff like this. So you did not know that James Gunn was into doing this shit before you hired him?
All right.
Give me a break.
Yeah. No, they. And the thing is, as somebody who I jokingly always call myself a self-described film historian because I don't have a degree in film history, but it was never always like this in Hollywood. This has only been going on since the 70s, really, because somebody was messing around with Shirley Temple, like being a creepy guy toward Shirley Temple. Clark Gable, who was the biggest star at the time, wandered on set, did not even have a contract with, I think it was wherever Shirley Temple had a contract with, wandered on set, and he was had a contract with MGM.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was either MGM or Columbia that she was with.
Well, I think it might have been Columbia that she was with. So, because Clark Gable was with MGM, so he wanders onto the Columbia set, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's Clark Gable! What is he doing here?" I'm looking for so and so. Because the name has never been released. They think it might have been her agent.
Mm-hmm.
He punches the guy, decks him right in the face, gives him, from the story, knocked him out cold in one punch, and says, "Leave Shirley alone."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that guy never messed with Shirley Temple again.
Yep.
Because that's like the equivalent now, basically, because The Rock is the highest paid actor right now. That's like if The Rock went and punched an agent in the face because he was being creepy towards a little girl, So, and then there's also, like, that's what they did back in the day. If anybody was wrongdoing on set, they got fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's when because I tell people right now, what's going around in Hollywood right now is just a transition period, because we have the big executives retiring. They're selling it to market people, and market people don't know how to make movies. Like, and there's in the documentary Empire of War in Star Wars, George Lucas kind of explains that in the early 70s. That's what was going on. And if people don't believe us about the marketing thing, look at the Emoji Movie. There was a bidding war with all of the studios to make an Emoji Movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me, because it's like, huh.
No, I agree with you completely on that. Everything has become the product placement and corporate tie-ins and all that stuff, and the films have become, I used to say, an afterthought, but now nobody even just gives a shit about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about how do you get a corporate tie-in with Dunkin' Donuts and Nike and everybody else. That's everything now.
Yeah, can we make a McDonald's toy out of this?
Yeah.
And hey, the McDonald's toys were cool when I was a kid, but now have you seen the toys that kids play with now? As far as the toys, they suck.
Yeah, toys suck now.
My daughter's 10, and she likes them now because they're Mario Brothers related because of the movies, but she didn't give two shits about the McDonald's toys growing up, and it's just awful. Like, remember when we were growing up, like me and Whitey, we're 10 years older than you. We had like the dangerous stuff with like the paint and made out of metal, and remember when we had to like break off these little pieces to make like a giant model type of thing that kids would get swallow and stuff like that. Yeah, back then.
I grew up with those toys too, because older cousins and all that stuff. I mean, I remember as kids playing with lawn darts. Those things were fun.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Or my dad had one of those old like Flash Gordon guns where you could sit there and pull the trigger and it shoots out sparks.
Yep, I remember those.
And like I was out over at my grandparents' place, and I sit there trying to fire see if those things still work. They still work just fine. Like now toys don't even last a week.
Yeah. They used to have the pop guns and stuff.
And that's everything. That's everything now. You can't even, like, I still have my old TV, my old tube TV that's I've had for 20 years. It's finally slowly going out, which I'm kind of disappointed about. But
the one he's got behind him, that used to be mine. That piece of crap. That's still working.
Yeah, but now, like flat screen TVs, you're lucky if they only last a year.
Yeah, the quality of everything is just pure shit.
And it sucks because isn't it like Whitey, like you have because you like to do your game play videos, you can't play certain games on like a flat screen TV, can you? I know like the Nintendo Zapper gun wouldn't work on them. Like if you try to play Duck.
Yeah, I've never actually tried to play it. That's something I should test out. You You can I can play retro games on the flat screens, but it depending on your settings, there's like a delay. So like when I was playing Madden 2005 on my laptop here, most of the game worked great until I went to go kick a field goal because the thing comes around and it has to be so precise. It's just because it's such a small screen, it's off a little bit. And so like I wouldn't play. I've been playing a Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 over there. I got that on a flat screen behind what you guys are seeing. I wouldn't do that on here on my laptop because it's too small, but I can play it. So you can play those retro games, but you got to worry about if it's something where you got to be moving real fast. There's like a slight. It's ever so off because it was designed for this, not for the flat screen. And so it's like if it's Mario Brothers, you'd probably be fine. But what was I playing? Like if you're playing this, where everything's moving really fast, Star Fox on 64. It's just something has to be really quick, moving, and precise. It's just off a smidge because it's not on what it was designed for. But you can play them. Like I would have more fun with it on this one, because that's what it's designed for. But you can play them on the flat screens. But there's little glitchy issues and stuff.
Well, like on those the light guns for the old NES, they don't work on flat screen at all.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean with like Duck Hunt.
Yeah, and it's because literally you're supposed to point it. It's the way you're supposed to point it, and it's just I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, I remember like when even I do remember some of those like metal toys and everything, because you're like those things felt sturdy and
Yep.
And like I remember I had Star Wars toys that were quality. Now, I mean, you see videos with guys breaking breaking the new Star Wars toys. Man, we couldn't break those toys that easily.
Ours had like lead paint and all that stuff. That the 80s. It was just a different generation. They didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wonder if it's gonna bounce back the other way.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think?
No, I think we're too far gone from our generation, dude.
The thing is,
the hippies were so hippie, and the 80s was high testosterone, and now it's gone soft and mushy. You don't think it'll come back to?
No, I think.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. I think it could, but you need what you need is it. Our society reflects around the leaders of the society, so you need an actual leader to make it happen. And
I should run for president, is what you're saying. I'm going to run for president of the United States. I'll run against Trump. If Trump runs in 20, I'll run in the next one after Trump because Trump will clobber my ass.
Well, as long as you, I think you'll do better than Brandon.
Well, I don't have dementia
yet
as bad as he has. There's like stages. I'm still in the onset dementia phase. I'm still good.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Maybe it's we haven't had a president with an epic beard since like the 1800s. So yeah. So maybe it's time we have maybe the last one that had a beard was like what? Benjamin Harrison, and that was like 1870s.
Rutherford B. Hayes had a pretty rockin' beard.
Yeah.
Hey, Grace Face.
Hey, Gracie.
Gracie's on here.
Hey.
Did you tell her that you cast her in the new Amityville movie, right? That we're going to do at your house.
Grace, you're going to play the villain in a horror film that we're going to shoot in the backyard, basically, in the house.
Wait. As long as the farm you can make it look like the Amityville house, you're good. And like have a like have that little lake area because Amityville is on a lake. So, or you know what? You could just do some guerrilla filmmaking. Maybe like shoot a little bit in the actual town of Amityville and just drive past the house. You know.
I'm going to say, Whitey, if Ed Wood can make a career,
Yeah.
so could you. It
I mean,
wasn't
hey,
successful, but hey, people are still talking about him.
And hey, Ed Wood is not. I'll go as far as to say this: Ed Wood actually made some good movies. He's not the worst filmmaker of all time.
Oh God, no.
Michael would make a great villain with that crazy eye he's got rocking and everything else that's wrong with him. He would make a really good villain.
Cowboy. He's got a cowboy outlaw look. Okay, so you need to remake the what was that the Mickey Rourke movie we did. Cowboy movie. Melted Face.
Melted Face is The Last Outlaw.
There you go. Michael could be the last outlaw.
Or you know what Whitey can do? Metropolis just entered the public domain. Remake Metropolis.
Which one was Metropolis?
1927 silent film made in Germany.
I don't think I've seen that. The last film like that I saw was M for Murder. I saw that one, but that was like much later. It was like 50s, I think.
Dial M for Murder, I think so. Yeah, that was the Hitchcock one.
No, M for Murder. It was made in Germany, and it was about a. No, that wasn't silent.
I think you're just talking about M.
No, the movie's called M for Murder, but it came out. It's about a guy who's words I don't want to say on YouTube to people, younglings.
Okay,
that's all I want to say.
It's you can say
M.
It's M for Murder, but that wasn't silent. My brain's broken. Let's go back to talking about
Howard
Jim
the Duck.
Varney. Yeah,
Jim Varney broke your brain. M for Murder.
Yeah, you did. Junebug, were you following towards the beginning of this, where we were talking about Slam Dunk? Ernest, were you in on any of that?
Oh yeah, okay. This is the Peter Lorre movie you're talking about. Yeah,
I saw a little bit of it. You know, I mean, I remember the Ernest movies, so you know, no, I mean, the one, like I said, when Disney kind of sold the rights, the Ernest movies kind of went downhill. I will say the last one though is probably out of the straight to DVD ones, probably the best one out of the straight to DVD ones. Ernest Goes to the Army.
Good okay, Lord. Well then I will make sure
some of that.
I will make sure that I do not make you watch, but I do plan on making you watch Ernest Goes to Africa. Because remember, Ernest Goes to Africa. That was the one. Remember, I read the synopsis to you, where he's got like he defends like the girl's honor with like a magic yo-yo or something.
Yes, yeah, man.
In Ernest Goes to the Army, he fights. Well, it would have been Iraq, but it was shot in Africa, and you could kind of tell. But he fights the Iraqis with pancakes that have concrete in them.
What the fuck? Why?
I got a question, Whitey. Jim Varney's been dead for about 20 years. Let's say Jim Varney never died.
Has he?
Yeah, he really has. Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. He died in like 2000, 2001, something like that.
What?
Let's say if he was still alive, would we have more Ernest movies now or more Amityville movies?
Fuck, I don't, man. Why you gotta hate me like this? What did you do?
I think it would be about the same because he was working on another Ernest movie at the time of his death, and they shot footage. They shot footage, but it was never released.
Yeah.
Called Ernest the Pirate.
Oh, I would love to see swashbuckling Ernest.
Ernest, the appeal made sense in the early 90s when you had a bunch of 8 to 12-year-old kids, maybe not even 12, that we had Nintendo and VHS tapes. He doesn't make sense now. The humor isn't going to play.
Not with that.
They were also working. They were also working on another one, basically Ernest and zombies.
I could have watched that all day. Why
I think-
didn't Ernest? Why didn't Ernest ever team up with Gilbert?
Gilbert was too busy doing like the Aladdin cartoon. You know, he actually had a meal train.
Meal ticket.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He died in
You know-
2000.
Yeah, I told you it's been like fucking
Yeah.
20 years, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that one guy who plays Bobby in like some of the movies.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. I mean, knock on wood,
Yeah.
but he's like in his early 90s.
Yeah, I think last time I heard he was like 94 or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's one thing that maybe we need. We need like actors that look like older, but that can play old guys, like Abe Ferreira, you know.
Oh, God.
And
If only Abe Vigoda wasn't dead yet. He wasn't dead. You dig him up.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. Abe Vigoda. You know, we need actors that play old guys, but they're like young guys. You know, again,
Have Tommy Lee Jones play like a college student or something like that.
right?
God. That man was born old.
Yeah. And, you know, and even before that, I mean, we had Walter Brennan, who could play old guys really well.
Gosh.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that, you know, it's like, I mean, there's a reason why like these superhero movies are underperforming right now.
Because
And
Gilbert's dead. That's why. Gilbert died.
yeah,
The universe is pointless now.
right. Well, I mean, hey, Gilbert Gottfried made one of my favorite movies better, Ford Fairlane. So,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now who's gonna pull that card first, Eric?
Well,
Who's
you
gonna
already
pull-
pulled your card, so I got to watch The Quick and the Dead. I can pull
Yeah.
that card anytime because you don't know what I'm going to pick for you.
Have you seen what is it? It's something Ford Fairlane.
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
All I know is it's Andrew Dice Clay and Gilbert Gottfried's in it for some reason, and Robert Englund tries to steal Andrew Dice Clay's car at knife point. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I actually have the guy's phone number in my phone because he wanted. I found it through the internet and contacted him. He wrote the short stories that Ford Fairlane is based on because that's actually a comic book movie. It was a series of comic books in the New York Times and the LA Weekly, and they wrote this movie around it, and they got Andrew Dice Clay and all this stuff, and it became this. The funny thing is, it actually was a hit, but because of the controversy with Andrew Dice Clay was canceled before cancel culture even existed.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first people canceled. Yeah.
Right. And because of the movie has such a following now, he's been trying to get a sequel.
Ford Fairlane has a following now.
Yes, he's been actually trying to make a sequel for close to 15 years now, the original author of the books. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I would just, now that Disney owns the rights, I would just love to see them make a sequel, you know? Because
Go ahead.
Just because, you know, and like the thing is, I actually think that Bob Chapek would have done a sequel if you really wanted him to. But now that Bob Iger's back, he's not going to do a sequel to that movie. So, but then he even wanted like me to think like what he wanted, because when I talked about how I'm actually a huge fan of the movie and everything because it's in my top favorite movies. He through the phone. I never got it in writing, so I guess technically it's not, you know, official. But he did give me permission to write a sequel, and I'm like, I could never come up with a good story. Like, where do you take Ford Fairlane? You know,
That's true. God, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Who would even play him at this point? Like, who would?
Well, I just said get Dice back. I mean, Dice has a comeback now, so
Yeah, he's actually making a comeback. Perfect time.
So I had an idea to more make it a buddy movie, but then I'm like, okay, who do you pair Dice up with? Because
Well, why aren't we getting an Orgasmo sequel? That's what I want to know.
Because Matt and Trey are still too busy with South Park, man.
Oh, we do it. Son of Orgasmo.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't that a thing?
I think that's still my favorite Matt and Trey movie out of them all. It's still so much fun. I have the Blu-ray, and like I told you, you've seen the DVD. They always do like the drunken commentaries.
Yeah.
Like I love the drunken commentary for Cannibal the Musical because it goes silent for like 20 minutes because Trey's so drunk he forgets that he turns the sound off. And then by the end of the movie, they're just saying, "Okay, movie's over. Let's go to the titty bar." Titty bar! They all run away. But they have their drunken commentary for Orgasmo, and then they have a second bonus commentary, which is Trey, Matt, Dean Bahar. I think the same guy who played the butcher in Cannibal, he's with them because he's a college
Jason McHugh.
And then for the hell of it, they have also invited over Kevin Smith and Weird Al Yankovic. So
really?
Just because Weird Al Yankovic is on a Orgasmo commentary, I have to listen to it.
Oh, dude, that's gotta be worth $1 million.
I know.
I gotta get that.
Weird Al, who's like the cleanest,
there's a guy
cleanest guy in the world. He never swears. All of his fucking songs are about movies and food, and he's out giving it a commentary about a movie, based in the porno industry.
Why isn't there a sequel?
That movie still makes me laugh, and they knock on the door. Guys, there's the boss. There's some guys here from Jesus. Cut their balls off. I got to cut your balls off now. That type of stuff is so fucking funny.
Junebug, you seen that one, right?
It's been like 10 years, but yeah, I think I did see it.
It's still funny.
No, I remember liking it because that's like my sense of humor. Just like I like those comedies sort of just like so raw, So
yeah,
because basically, I'm actually not plugging myself or anything, but I'm actually helping this one YouTuber. He's making a movie for YouTube, and it's about cancel culture, and it's like our tagline is if we don't get canceled, we didn't do our job. So
that's how
it's like, yeah. Well, it's like, hey, we're not famous yet, so what can you do, right?
True.
And I basically have been describing it to people as like a live action South Park. Sort of, because we're just going to be making fun of everybody. I think that's one of the reasons why South Park has not gotten canceled, is because they just make fun of everybody.
Yeah, that's the smart thing is they pull no punches and everybody's up for game.
Didn't Beavis and Butthead get brought back? Isn't there?
They just got brought back again for like one season. I think that's all they
did. There is a second season coming.
Okay. But Mike Judge is bringing back King of the Hill as well.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know how I feel about that.
I never liked King of the Hill to begin with. I was never a fan.
I mean, I like King of the Hill, but like, I don't know. Like that seemed like it kind of just ran its course, I guess.
Yeah.
And like Luann is dead.
Right.
So, how do you? Somebody could easily replace Brittany Murphy, but like, how do you? Who are you going to get?
They'll just get Nancy Cartwright. She replaces everybody that dies.
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, what do you even do with the new King of the Hill? Because do you just like continue it? From the show?
Well, probably make Bobby a transsexual, and then that'll really make Hank uncomfortable.
Oh,
either that, no. It'll probably be like maybe Bobby comes out as gay or something, or I don't know. I mean, well, I don't see Mike Judge doing that though, too, because Mike Judge in the new Beavis and Butthead, made fun of that stuff. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I could see him doing it to make Hank uncomfortable and having to deal with that situation, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Would they have Bobby still be a kid, or is he a grown man now?
I would see them making Bobby like a man now, but like I said, I think he would be like, transgender or something. You know what I mean? Just to make Hank uncomfortable about that situation, because he was always uncomfortable about Bobby and his lifestyle and all that stuff and to begin with. So I think that would be easy to do.
Have you heard the theory that Bobby is not really Hank's son? Bobby is really Bill's son.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That would make sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I guess either Hank got really really lucky one night, or
Peggy was just feeling real generous to Bill, is what it was.
Yeah, or she realized, you know what, Hank's not going to have any kids, so she just said, one night.
Yeah. Or she hit up Bill on the rebound, like they got into a fight one night, and yeah.
Maybe it was the night that Lenore left Bill, and she just said, you know what, I'm just gonna be nice to you tonight, Bill.
I'll give you a freebie.
Yeah,
that's what friends do. I'll be your pity lay, Bill.
I don't know. I mean, well, I guess we'll see. But no, I was actually really surprised by the new Beavis Butthead that they actually made fun of all that stuff, because it was kind of refreshing to see, because I love how they Beavis and Butthead still felt the same. There was nothing added to them or anything.
Yeah, they didn't change the characters.
And
I haven't seen the new movie yet, though. I heard that was actually pretty good.
It is. I really liked it. The new movie, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
Yeah, I heard that was really fucking funny. The trailer seemed amazing.
Probably like the second best, franchise Ghost of Space movie since like Jason X. So
I thought you were gonna say the Muppets, but I have fun with Jason X too. Jason X is the only movie where me and my brother, like, we had the room to ourselves. There was no one in that fucking room but us seeing Jason X.
Nice. I got to see
Whitey the White Guy, Jason X.
I got to see Predators alone with a girl when I was in high school, and we didn't really watch the movie, so.
I understand what you're saying there.
Yeah,
that was
the Adrian Brody one.
Right.
I know. I'm
You're thinking of The Predator, the one with the kid with autism that you really liked, Whitey.
Oh, the complete piece of fucking trash, Predator.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! See, I don't even get offended, and I'm supposed to be the one who has Asperger's, which that kid has. I'm like, yeah, we're not the second evolution or whatever they said. I mean, it kind of sucks sometimes. So
you're the next step in human evolution.
Yeah. Right. What? Right. If that's the case, then you know what? If that's the case, I'll just take the Robert Rodriguez approach to make my movie. I'll just be a test subject. I'll supposed to be the next step in human evolution then. Okay, what is it with Fred Decker? Like he made a movie, he made RoboCop 3. He didn't work for 25 years, and then he wrote the exact same script basically about a special kid who has special powers. What is with his fascination with special kids?
Well, there's always something about him and kids. Night of the Creeps, he had that one kid who was walking with the crutches,
right?
And then you had obviously Fat Kid, and Eugene was kind of retarded in the Monster Squad. So it's just an ongoing theme. That's what they expect from Fred Decker.
He even had a special in his it was never made, the 80s Godzilla movie that he was writing.
Oh jeez, I heard of that one.
He had a special kid in that. So what's his fascination with special kids?
Maybe he was one. Maybe he is one. You know, you never know.
Maybe. I mean, I'm. You've never seen him in interviews, so.
Yeah, not really. I mean, the only time I've ever really seen him was in that documentary Wolfman Got Nards, and he's not in it too much. And you could tell he doesn't want to be there.
Right. That's one thing I loved about that documentary. It's like it was a good documentary. You could just tell like he didn't want to be there. All the other people were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, everyone was having fun except for him, the guy who directed the fucking movie.
Right.
What was it called again?
The documentary is called Wolfman's Got Nards. Have you not seen the Monster Squad, Whitey?
From the 80s with the kids and then Frankenstein and everybody else shows up. Yeah.
Fat kid kicks Wolfman in the balls and he says, wow, Wolfman's got nards. So they made a documentary on the Monster Squad called Wolfman's Got Nards. It came out a handful of years ago. Less than 5, I'm going to say.
Like 2016.
I saw a VHS copy at the thrift store of the Buttercream Gang.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought of you. And if
because we did the video for the Buttercream Gang. Yep, that's still
I was gonna pick that up, but I don't know what's going on next with my life, so I have to wait and see.
You got to 50 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I loved this. So I love Corey Feldman still plugging it. We're making Goonies 2. Like
not. Stop it. Stop it.
Josh Brolin, I love Josh Brolin, says, yeah, well, I'll make it when they pay me.
It's not going to happen. Listen, Sean Astin somewhat has a career. Josh Brolin has a career. Ke Huy Quan, nominated for an Oscar. Doesn't need to do the Goonies. Let's see, who else was there? Chunk, out of the business.
He's a lawyer now.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's actually Ke Huy Quan's business lawyer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty much retired. Same with Kerry Green. The only one there left is Corey Feldman, which no one cares about, including Corey Feldman. Richard Donner's dead. He's not gonna direct it. Steven Spielberg don't give two shits.
Yeah, it's over, because I'd be curious about seeing it, but like it's over, because Martha Plimpton, like she has a career still too, because she's doing like, and Kerry Green, like the last thing she did was like in the late 90s.
Right. Kerry Green doesn't do Martha Plimpton, like she had that Raising Hope show on Fox
right.
for a handful of years, but
and then she has that new show on Freevee that's basically Raising Hope.
Yeah. Corey Feldman, I don't know what I think Corey just needs more cocaine, and he lives in fucking California. He can find the cheap stuff real easy.
Yeah.
He's on Cameo. He can take all his Cameo money and just shove it up his nose. He'll be fine.
Or either that, or maybe Corey, just after you retire, and then, have you guys seen his wife?
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, like you are a short guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is like 5'5", and that's what he claims.
Right. He's probably like 5'2" or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and then his wife is like 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
You have a hot wife. Maybe just retire and enjoy your trophy wife. And
he's so obsessed about having a music career that no one gives a shit about it except for like the really hardcore, like psychotic fans. You know what I mean?
Listen, you've tried to have a music career since the early 90s, and basically all of your albums suck.
Yeah, and he's still trying to be like Michael Jackson. He still wears the jacket. He's still got the hair slicked back except for that one fucking strand that's in his face. He's still doing the Michael Jackson moves, and that's air quotes, you know what I mean? Instead of just having like a shit fit on stage. And he's now like he's calling himself like he's having a comeback, and this, it's like he's just awful. He really needs to just get hit by a bus and do us all a favor.
You're not okay. I'm going to say yes. You are having a comeback, but not a good comeback.
Reasons, you know what I mean?
You're not having a comeback on the level of like a Robert Downey Jr. had in the.
You can't really have a comeback if you don't go away first. That's the problem.
Exactly. Brendan Fraser, that's a comeback. So,
right.
And he actually, like I said, like I joked before, I think he's going to win the Oscar as long as he doesn't get slapped by Will Smith. So,
Yeah.
Which that's one thing I'm looking forward to about the Oscars this year, just because they're how many Will Smith jokes there's going to be made they're going to make during that. I mean, because like Will Smith is going to be the butt of the joke for years now.
Yeah, and he can't, and he won't. He's banned for like 10 years, so it'll be an ongoing thing.
See, I actually think that SAG should have gotten involved and taken away his SAG card.
See that's the thing. Wow, I'm sure he had to pay a fine or whatever. Who cares? But wow, he's banned from a boring fucking awards show for 10 years. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
They didn't say he couldn't be nominated anymore. So what's the punishment? Because he still won the fucking Oscar. What they should have done is they should have pulled his nomination that night after he did that.
See, I'll argue this. I think he won it fair and square, but I think But I think they should say, okay, because you did that, we don't recognize the Oscar for that 10 years. You still won it, fair and square, but also SAG, you get SAG involved, you take away his SAG card, along with his director's card and all that stuff, because if Will Smith did if he got his SAG card taken away, basically he would be doing, he would be forced to doing like low budget movies. Like we're talking Steven Seagal straight to DVD level movies now.
He would be in the Goonies 2 with Corey Feldman. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, which that's one thing I could see Corey doing now. Like, I'm just gonna make a Goonies inspired movie, you know, and it's like only him coming back, you know.
He filmed it in his backyard.
No. What he'd probably do is he try to get like Harry Green back because she's probably the only one that could afford to come back. You know, what is she even doing now though? Who knows?
I think she retired, just became a mom for all I know. But look at this. Josh Brolin doesn't need to do it because he was Thanos in Infinity War. That man doesn't ever have to work another day in his life.
Dude,
that one role and the much money both Infinity War and Endgame brought in. So he's set for life. Like I said, Eboy Kwan, he is now, other than Brendan Fraser, he's the comeback king because he's been gone for 20 fucking years. Like Corey, he actually left. He disappeared. And now he's getting all this praise. And I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was really good. It's batshit crazy, but I really liked it.
I did like it. I mean, like, I thought Key did a good job. It wasn't really like my cup of tea, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. So,
but
it's just like that's those, like Brendan and him, those are comebacks because, like I said, they disappeared for a while. Brendan, he was going through his problem with his divorce, and he says he was blacklisted because that one guy grabbed his balls or something at a party, and it was like a big time like producer or something like that, and blacklisted him because he came out and said it right away. And so who knows,
I'm sorry. I told people this too. I don't care how big you are. If you sit there and grab my balls at a party, I might just punch you in your face at that point, because it's like, dude, yeah, like you assaulted me. Mm-hmm. Poke the bear a little bit. I'm going to punch you, It's like, I don't care how big you are, you don't do that. Right. So, and somebody said, well, that's assault. Well, I said, well, then at that point, it's like, well, I'll get my lawyer, say that he assaulted me. So, let's go to court right now. That's one thing I've told a lot of these people though who want to be directors. If you actually get hired, remember Hollywood's full of sharks. Show them that you're the killer whale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because somebody even said like, what would you do if you got like they were trying to sabotage your movie and you're trying to get you fired? I'm like, I would refuse to leave. I'm not leaving. Because
I don't know that I'd want to work in Hollywood at this point.
Well, that's another thing.
Even ever possible, but I would set up a little independent studios and like make a little independence where you can actually be entertaining. Not that it matters. Hollywood's never going to touch any of us other than football. But where that option available, I don't know.
It all goes back to the top. It's the Hollywood leaders that are that none of us know besides like maybe Bob Iger. It's the head of the studios where it all goes back to the top, and you just need an actual, leader from the industry to push it forward. Not all this other stuff that they're doing now. That's all you need. Because, I mean, if you go to like, if we're talking early 70s, when, as I talked about earlier, the marketing thing where a lot of marketing, the studios would sell their stuff to marketing things. Like if Coke wanted a movie, they'll make a movie about Coke or put a whole bunch of Coke, like in the movie. And now they're doing that, but to the extreme, because a lot of those guys are retiring and selling it, and then giving it to honestly incompetent people. Like the head of Warner Brothers right now is a guy who it's Mike DeLuca, the guy who was Bob Shaye's protege that he wanted to be head of New Line. And then when he realized after almost 20 years that maybe you're not exactly right, he bought Bob Shaye out of New Line.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he bought Bob Shaye out of New Line and then sold, and then partnered with Warner Brothers. So New Line is still a studio, but they're not an independent studio. They're owned by Warner Brothers now.
Oh. Well, that makes sense because me and my daughter just recently watched Shazam, and I was actually surprised. It said New Line at the very beginning, but then it went to Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm. And yes,
I didn't know Bob Shaye wasn't with New Line anymore.
No, he got bought out of the studio that he started. Which that happens all the time in businesses. And I mean, Bob Shaye at that point, was in his late 60s, so it's like I'm old, I mean, it's for me, it's like, I mean, I respect Bob Shaye for what he did and all that stuff, but it's like, you know what, I don't care how old I am, you buy me on my contract, it's like, you know what, I'm still head of this studio. You're fired.
I didn't. Wow, that's surprising. I didn't think Bob Shaye would ever leave New Line.
Well, yeah.
Fox though.
Now he's just retired. Living life.
Good for him, man. He kept that fucking that company going. So.
Right for almost 40, 30 years. Something like that.
Well, because it was struggling. And the first Nightmare on Elm Street came out in '84, and that was its first major hit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right, and then I mean they produced they produced. I mean, my second favorite movie of all time. I consider all one movie, The Lord of the Rings. So
yeah, that's true. And New Line was king when those movies came out for sure.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, not many studios because originally they wanted it to be 2 movies, but then Bob Shaye, well, this is 3 movies. And, they spent their entire marketing budget alone for those movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bob Shaye was a risk taker. That's what I always liked about him. So.
Yeah.
And they made a massive fortune, no doubt.
Yeah, that's why New Line had to then partner with Warner Brothers, and then the rights with The Hobbit were really weird. So like MGM owned some of the rights,
mm-hmm.
and then Warner Brothers owned some of the rights. It was weird, like how that worked out. And so then the MGM, New Line, and Warner Brothers then all did the Hobbit movies, and then marketing people said, well, then tampered with it and everything, which I still like the Hobbit movies, but they're not as good.
That's what a lot of people say. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, it's better than Reigns of Poop that came out a few years ago. So
that's what I've heard though, that TV series was awful.
Yeah, well, it was terrible. I don't even mind all the stuff, the changes to the lore they did. It was more because, you have the right to the appendices, which are just short little stories. So you can expand on that. You don't have the rights to the other book. But like, what I just couldn't get over is bad acting. You know, like the girl who plays Galadriel had this like she tried to act so tough, but she had like this not even nasally voice, but like it was like she's talking through her nose, and then her angry face was like the Elvis snarl thing, you know? It's like if I'm the director, I'd be like, did we just cast you because you're a blonde? Because you suck as an actress, you know? And I think that's another problem too. Like a lot of directors now, I've realized they don't have the balls anymore. Just to tell the actor that sucked. Like one of the things about the new Halloween movies, like Jamie Lee Curtis, I've noticed this. She has a problem. She overacts sometimes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, I think the directors are just in awe. Oh my gosh, I'm working with Jamie Lee Curtis.
They're too busy being starstruck.
Exactly. You know what? Like it's like, okay, Jamie Lee, tone it down. You're at an 11. I need you to be at least a 7. Tone it down. Because like I'm sorry, when she's sitting there, you know, in some of the new Halloween movies, you know, it's just sitting there screaming and everything. I'm supposed to be feeling all this tension for her and everything. I'm laughing at her. Because it's like you never won an Oscar, but you were always a decent actress.
Yeah, she was fine. I liked her in just when she was just someone regular, like Trading Places,
right?
Or even stupid shit like My Girl. You know what I mean? Where she's just playing a normal person. She was fun in True Lies. For the most part. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We got to do that one again.
True Lies.
We did that.
We did that. That was one of our first ones we did, and I think it was one of your first ones that got taken down because your dumbass kept putting fucking movie clips in it when I told you to quit putting it in fucking movie clips. But I remember that one being good, and we had an interesting perspective on it because we did it post 9/11, so it's like stuff we did. It's like it wasn't trend setting, you know what I mean? Because post 9/11, all brown colored people were bad in Hollywood, you know what I mean? And
right.
The terrorism stuff didn't really mean anything because we had seen 100 terrorism movies since then. So it didn't have, I guess, as big of an impact with that part of the movie as it would have in like 95 or whenever it came out.
Well, they I figured probably got pulled because they got offended because he showed Jamie Lee Curtis's thong or something. So
she was an attractive lady.
Yeah.
She was, and now they're doing a True Lies TV show.
Ooh.
What?
Not with Arnold and Jamie Lee though, right? No way.
It's with. Okay, do you guys remember the movie Stan Helsing?
Yes.
It's that guy is the lead.
No.
I mean, even if they got like Jean-Claude Van Damme or something, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But like you got Stan Helsing,
Thank you, Junebug. That's why I brought you on here. Thank you. You got Eric to make that face, motherfucker.
Wow.
Eric's always telling me the real horrible news about what's getting remade and everything else, and Eric finally got one. There we go.
Yeah, they're doing a True Lies TV show, and
that's fucking stupid.
That is just that's full retard right there. You don't and what's his name is dead, so fuck it.
Who's dead?
The everybody guy.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. He's been.
You don't need him to be in the TV show. Get Tom Arnold because Tom Arnold never. He needs to work. That'll be. We won't follow Harry Tasker's family. We're gonna follow Tom Arnold as he's working in the CIA.
Oh my god!
Van Helsing plays Tom Arnold, and Tom Arnold can play like a supervisor or something like that.
No. What you do is you have you have Tom Arnold, and then you just have him work with Roseanne again.
Oh God! Apparently she's got her comeback special on Fox coming out, so we'll see how that does.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah.
God bless her.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, no. I mean, I saw a trailer for that, and I'm like, they're doing a True Lies TV show. If that even gets a second season, I'm going to be surprised because you remember a few years ago they made a Rush Hour TV show that only lasted one season.
They made a Lethal Weapon TV show that came out for like 2 seasons. I know that.
Yeah, and that lasted for 3 seasons, which the Lethal Weapon TV show was better than it should have been. Mm-hmm. The only problem is Damon Wayans was not a good Murtaugh.
Well, he became like a little bitch too, apparently, and he left after season 1. And then,
well, he was pulling all this stuff, and I'm Damon Wayans. Like your younger brothers were more popular than you, honestly.
Exactly.
And I mean, the best movie you did was with Adam Sandler. So.
Yeah, I like
Bulletproof.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't like the scary movies, but Sean and Marlon are so much more successful than Damon. What does Damon have to fall back on? Blank Man? Earth Girls Are Easy, Mo Money.
Exactly. You were a
We got to do that too.
What, Blank Man?
Earth Girls, we did that one. We got to redo that.
Okay, well, I'm going to make you do Blank Man eventually. You know what Blank Man is, right?
The first black superhero.
First black superhero. Damon Wayans is a retarded inventor, and he becomes a superhero. And he has a little robot sidekick that he made out of a trash can.
This is a movie, or this is just
a movie? And his sidekick is played by David Alan Grier.
I remember him from an episode of Tour of Duty.
David Allen, everybody's been fucking Tour of Duty with you.
Yeah. He played the best role he's ever done. He played a burn victim.
But yeah, no. I mean, I thought like Damon Wayans, out of all people, so he started pulling all this stuff. Okay, so he got a boo-boo on set because, and listen, I mean that people do get that like hurt on sets all the time, but this was literally a boo-boo. Like when you're a little kid and you scrape your knees and he got it on his head. All he needed was a Band-Aid and he would be fine. It was not, I mean, even doctors who looked at it said, dude, that's nothing. That's like a bonk on the head. I mean,
we got Alec Baldwin over here killing people and you hit your head. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. And so then he started pulling all this stuff, and then
I think he threw a bunch of racial shit in there. I know that
he did, and then he got the actor that played Riggs fired.
Yep, they replaced with Sean William Scott of all people.
With Sean William Scott, I will say this: I watched that season. He actually did a fairly good job. Like when I was watching it, like I got kind of like Bruce Willis vibes, kind of like an action hero playing a smartass, basically like how you would expect Sean William Scott to play an action hero. But Damon was just the worst part of that TV show. Like, I'm like, why even get Damon in the first place? Like, for Murtaugh, like, I don't know, Wesley Snipes, Michael Jai White,
Michael Jai White would have been a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael Jai White's on the right age for it, and he can also do the physical stuff.
Right, and then they got that guy from Reno 911, the guy with the short shorts and mustache, to play
Thomas
Lennon. Thomas Lennon. They got him to play the Joe Pesci part.
Oh Jesus!
And I'm like, no. I mean, that's the problem. Is like the guy who played Riggs was good. Even the guy, Sean William Scott's character, was good, but like Murtaugh and Leo Getz were just miscasted. Like, I don't even know who you get to do that character now, Leo. But
it'd be tough.
Like
because you picture Joe Pesci, but you don't want just a poor man like doing a Joe Pesci impression. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I thought, like, I mean, because I guess, I was thinking of like at least short actors,
Well, you say you just nail it, put it down to short actors. We're lucky we didn't get Kevin Hart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no, gosh. Like I was thinking, like,
Corey Feldman's short. He needs work.
yeah, I mean, well, Corey Feldman actually would be an interesting Leo Getz. I don't know. I was actually saying, I mean, at that time, like Sean Ashton, it was like he just did Stranger Things, so Sean Ashton would have been interesting. I don't know if he would, but he would have been better than Thomas Lennon.
You guys, dude, we're missing it. It's Lovitz. You got to get Lovitz.
John Lovitz as Leo Getz.
Lovitz in there. He hasn't
as long as we get Andy Dick to co-star, so John can beat him up again.
Is he still alive?
Andy Dick, yeah, he just got thrown in jail again, like within the last month.
God. Yeah.
You heard about the story about John Lovitz beating the shit out of him at his own nightclub, right?
I heard something about that. Yeah. Well, I've heard so many stories about Andy Dick, and let's just say his name fits. So
yeah, that man is such a piece of shit. If you don't know the story, Whitey, Andy Dick supposedly gave Phil Hartman's wife the cocaine that caused her to go on the binge and ended up killing Phil Hartman.
Right.
John Lovitz and Phil Hartman were like this, like best friends. And then it was one time at John Lovitz has a comedy club. And like, I don't know if you know who the stand-up comic Godfrey is. He was like the host, and he was like, having people, up and on. And it was a great time. And apparently, like, it was like a week or two before, John Lovitz was there, and Andy Dick walked in, trashed off of his mind like normal. And he walked up to Lovitz and he said, like, I'm going to put the Phil Hartman curse on you. It was just stuff like that. He doesn't remember saying that. Well, apparently, now the night that Godfrey's hosting, and Godfrey, he's told this 100 times. He's the one that's telling the story because John does not want to talk about it, obviously, because no one pictures John Lovitz, the lovable, fat, Jewish, isn't he gay guy, you know what I mean, beating up little Andy Dick. Well, apparently Andy shows up. He's drunk off his ass, probably high, and he's yelling at Godfrey from, like, the audience. Godfrey, let me up on stage. Godfrey doesn't know that John wants nothing to do with it. So he's like, okay, sure, come on up, because Godfrey doesn't know what to do. Is drunk and coked out Andy Dick. What's he supposed to say? No, and then cause a big ruckus. So Andy goes up there and he just totally bombs. Godfrey says he sees in the background, and John Lovitz is just fuming. He's like, yelling and screaming, just making hand movements and stuff like that. Well, after Andy's done bombing, I guess Andy goes back to the bar where John is, and you just see John slamming Andy's head down on the bar. And he literally throws him out of the club because he still says if, Andy didn't give Bryn that Coke, Phil could probably be alive. And then again, just Andy just saying, I put the Phil Hartman curse on you, just making jokes of his best friend's murder. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's just an interesting story. Like, schlubby, lovable John Lovitz beating the shit out of somebody in his bar. You know what I mean?
Do you guys hear the similar story about Steven Seagal? There was a party.
I know when he challenged Jean-Claude Van Damme to a fight, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. He challenged Jean-Claude Van Damme. So this was at Sylvester Stallone's house. There was a party. So Steven Seagal, I guess, literally was there just by himself at the bar, just eating the food.
Of course, naturally.
And then so here is Steven's. Jean-Claude Van Damme shows up. Hey, you said you wanted to fight, and they're both drunk at this point. And probably Jean-Claude Van Damme, this was kind of maybe like around his cocaine year, so maybe there was a bit of cocaine too. So the sitting there challenged Steven Seagal to a fight. Steven Seagal sits there and just walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just, but they said that, and then he said, but then like a lot of other people said that since Steven Seagal talked all that smack that he can beat anybody in a fight, then like everybody started challenging him at that point. He just walks away. I mean, I guess I got to hand it to him for walking away, but like you're talking all that smack that you can beat anybody in a fight, and then you just walk away.
It's not just that. He's done interviews where I've seen an interview. He's so fucking conceited. He did an interview like another guy was like, basically, sucking Steven Seagal's dick, talking about how good he was. And then he I'm going to throw some names out at you. And you tell me, what do you think? Are they good martial artists? Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then Seagal literally looks at the guy interviewing. He's like, do you want me to laugh at you? Michael Jai White. Do you want me to laugh at you? So, like, he's such a condescending prick. Like, Michael Jai, Van Damme, say what you want about the movies they make. Michael Jai White and Van Damme are fantastic martial artists.
Yes.
And Seagal is just making a mockery of them. So, you know what? So Van Damme snorted a bunch of coke and got drunk at Stallone's house. And he basically said, put your money where your mouth is. And he went outside and waited for him. And Van Damme knows he did that because he's asked all the time in interviews. And he's like, yeah, I did it. And he never came out.
Yeah.
And then he literally says, he's like, there's your answer. I challenged him, went outside, and he never came out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and let's put it this way. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme, there's video footage out there. He's won tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And, Steven Seagal just knows Aikido, and if you kind of look at the movies, it's kind of like the same basic moves.
Jean-Claude Van Damme wins martial arts tournaments. Steven Seagal eats food eating contest, pie eating contest. So it's
he probably sits there and eats a bunch of chili dogs and drinks his Mountain Dew all the time. So he was probably what it probably was.
Whitey can do that.
Yeah, but no. Steven Seagal was like the basement dweller before they were whatever they are.
Yeah.
So
he got huge.
Yeah.
It's like shockingly huge.
Yeah, he's almost. If it wasn't for the ponytail, it'd be hard to recognize him. Like, he's put on a lot of weight, and he's been a big. Like, I don't want to say he's not in shape because he can do the martial arts stuff, but he's a lot more round. Let's just say since the last time I saw him in a movie.
He weighs like. He has to weigh like at least. I'll be generous. Maybe like 325, maybe.
Yeah. No, he's way bigger than 325.
So has he actually gained? Has he gained weight recently now?
I don't know. He's been for years. He was pumping out.
Is he like taking? Maybe we should give him credit though. Maybe he's like taking the Orson Welles approach or the Marlon Brando approach. He's just getting bigger.
Is Marlon Brando still alive?
He's been dead for years, dude.
20 years, almost.
Right.
He's been dead as long as Ernest.
How long after Dr. Moreau did he pass?
Dr. Moreau was 95.
8 years. Yeah. He died in 2004.
Okay. July 1st, 2004.
There was a movie, one of his last movies, it was never released. Actually, it's with Brendan Fraser, where he voiced like the bug. And apparently, Marlon Brando voicing this bug, dressed in like women's clothes, because he's supposed to play like a girl bug, and like in order to get into character, he dressed in like women's clothing and all this stuff just to do the recording. And he said that it was the most fun he's ever had acting, but the movie never got released for, I think, budgeting reasons or something like that. But I think like the movie's literally finished, but it's in a vault.
Yeah, Dr. Moreau was 96, so.
Yeah. You know what? There's something they should remake. It's in the public domain. Let's get a new Dr. Moreau movie going.
Still got that documentary about the making of that fucking movie.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. Which, oh my gosh, Richard Stanley. Talk about a director who took a break for however many years and actually made a good movie. The Color Out of Space.
Yeah. But, oh my God, just Marlon Brando found that little burnt up midget guy at a bar and hit it off with him and said, okay, I'm going to put you in my movie without telling the writers or the directors. He just brought him on set one day and said, this guy's going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
The original director was fired, and supposedly he didn't want to leave the set, so he got himself made up like one of the monsters, like one of the creatures, and he was like hiding in the trees to make sure the film was being filmed properly. And Val Kilmer was going through his divorce, so he was coked out every night on set, and it was nuts.
Yeah, and then that not to mention that little midget guy was trying to have sex with like that little midget guy was trying to have sex with all the girls.
Yeah, like he wouldn't leave Fairuza Balk alone.
Which I guess Fairuza Balk had to actually get a restraining order against him too. It's what I heard.
That's bad when someone as crazy as Fairuza Balk has to get a restraining order against somebody, you know?
And it's a midget too, you know? Oh. Well, because she said that she never wants to. I heard her say one time. I mean, I don't know where to find the interview, but she said that, you know, she's met a lot of creeps, but that he was one of the creepiest little guys ever. Oh, I can imagine. Like apparently he would, because he was so tiny, he would just sit there and walk under her and look up, you know. and then he would actually try to literally finger.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? I mean, you're making little people look bad. You know, come on, dude.
They have enough going against them. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be Warwick Davis. You know what I mean?
Right? Can you? I mean, that would. To be fair, like. Can you imagine like Warwick Davis? Let's get like Warwick Davis in like one of the like a very raunchy hard R comedy, and he just acts proper British about it, you know.
Hey, I bet you he would. I still want to see his TV show. What is it? Shorter Than Life or Life is Short or something like that, where he's playing like an over exaggerated version of himself. And there's a scene I saw where he's like in the grocery store and he's buying condoms and stuff like that. And like he's asking women out, and they're like, "Oh, sure, you know, we'll go out with you." And then suddenly, you know, the condoms won't ring out, so like they do a price check on it, and then of course the person he just asked out looks at him weird, and it's just like it's over the top. It's Ricky Gervais, so you know he's gonna be poking a lot of fun at Warwick because he's best friends with Warwick, and plus he also likes to make fun of dwarves. So.
Well, Ricky Gervais is just funny because he doesn't care. So
right, he doesn't give a shit. Like every time I'm bored, sometimes I'll just put on Best of Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, the fact that he's been like kicked off of hosting the Golden Globes for how many years, and then they always bring him back
because people like him because he's ratings. That's all that matters.
Exactly, and like. Yeah. You know, one stand-up comedian, though, that I actually really liked her in the beginning, but then she got really just, you know, she just changed her comedy style. I actually used to like Chelsea Handler quite a bit.
I did, too. In the early years, I thought she was really funny, but then she just went off the deep end. She got super political. She got super annoying, and then she just lost, you know, I guess you would say the talent for being funny, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I always thought she was actually, even when she did make political jokes, like she made fun of both sides, you know.
Oh, yeah, she did, but I don't know. I just think she just tried to go for like
the
kind of like Seth MacFarlane. You know, he tries to go do shock value without having the funny punchline. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, there's one stand-up comedian that I honestly would go as far to call her the new Chelsea Handler. She's on YouTube. Eliza Schlesinger is her name.
I don't know. I'd have to see a picture.
She has a couple Netflix specials. Eliza Schlesinger. She is. Now, because it's Netflix, she can't say a lot of her other jokes,
right,
that she makes. But like, oh my gosh, and she is a, you know, hot blonde from Texas, so she does not care at all. Yeah. The only thing people criticize for her recently.
She looks familiar.
Yeah. No. I mean, She was in the Netflix movie with Marky Mark.
Ooh.
Spencer.
Oh, I see. I'm thinking of Nikki Glazer. I think she's funny.
Well, she is funny. Nikki Glazer too. She's like, no, but Eliza Schlesinger. No, she is. I think she is really funny. I mean, the thing about her, what I like about her too, and she does say how she does say how she's a feminist, but she makes fun of them as well. You know, and that's what I find funny about her because she's like,
guys, I got to cut this off. It's starting to hurt my back.
No, that's fine, dude. My battery's about ready to die anyway.
Yeah.
So
okay,
all right.
But I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm starting to feel it back here, and I can't.
No, we don't want you to.
I can't sit for too long. I can't stand for too long. You know.
Well, you know what we'll do starting next week when you're on my channel. We'll do a time limit. How with this? We'll do like.
But if when we're on your channel, I can just take off, and you can keep streaming if you want to.
Okay.
But I'm starting to feel it up here, and I got to avoid that kind of thing. I got the MRI coming up.
Right.
So.
Absolutely, dude.
Now I'm starting to feel my lower back too. So I got to cut out of here because it's starting to mess with my back.
Oh, we got it. No problem, man.
But yeah, Junebug, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Nice having you, man.
Out here.
Yeah.
We'll be on Eric's. We'll be on Eric will be. We'll be doing this Friday at 9. Next Friday.
Yeah,
coming Friday?
God willing, 9 o'clock. Unless I fall asleep and you have to call me on the phone again.
Yeah. Well.
Love you, Gracie.
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking forward to next Friday the 10th because I'll be interviewing Sarah Karloff on my channel. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And I just gave you a sub too, Junebug.
I thought you already subscribed to me, so.
I thought I was too. YouTube's fucky like that, man. They'll unsubscribe you to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know how it is. No, I'm fluctuating right now. I usually just round up my channel. Like people ask me how you subscribe to 510, something like that, because YouTube, like I win some, I lose some every day. So.
I ain't kidding those guys. It's starting to tighten up back here, so I got to get going.
All right.
Thanks for coming out. Friday at 9 next week.
You got it. Quick as dead.
All right. Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
All right. Bye.